Hello, wrestling fans, and welcome to Wrestling Gab. That's Dalitha. I am Travis. We're a little bit late. We're having a little bit of technical difficulty. Hopefully, it's not going to last.
Our internet difficulties.
Well, we have a couple different routers, and we're supposed to be using one, but we've been using another one because I've been lazy, and then now we're using the original one. And it's supposed to be working. I couldn't find a place to update it because that's what I was kind of looking for. Oh, I can't do it on this phone.
Oh, you're looking for a place to like actually update like the software for it or something?
The router.
Oh.
Yeah. And all I could really find was that reboot.
Oh.
What's it reboot? What's it about?
Anyways, Walter's in the chat. Says, hey Travis, hey Daphne, Raw tonight. Walter also said a awesome Braun Strowman got released from WWE.
Oh, there you go.
Interesting.
I was wondering if Amos would get let go.
Robert Warney is in the chat. Hey, Robert says, hey, what it do, my good people? Oh, we're just hanging out, Robert. How are you doing? How was your weekend? Good weekend? Walter said, okay, good matches. I'm ready. Harley's in the chat saying, hello, everybody. Walter says, Cody Rhodes promo first. Harley says, what's up, Walter? How was your weekend? Walter says, hi, it was good. Sophie's in the chat as well. So is Chris and Brandon Stevens.
Good stuff.
Sophie says, hi, how was everyone's weekend? The Rock is being rumored to compete in the Elimination Chamber in February. Chris says, what Raw's in Toyota Arena in Cali? We have the Toyota Center here in Houston. Fuck off, Cali, stealing our shit.
Stealing it.
Bastards.
Texas. Dicks.
Sophie says, I didn't see the news about Braun and Amos release. I don't believe that if that happened, it would have been big news.
Yeah, I feel like it would too, and that's why I'm trying to get on the internet.
I would think it would be way big news, technically. Especially about Amos. Braun, not so much. He's broken, so. Brandon says, white girlfriend marry Brandon Stevens, right? And Sophie says, with SmackDown being moved to the USA Network next year, rumors are that they might make that 3 hours as well. Who are the rumors from, though? Is it the rumor mill of Twitter people out there? Your WWE fans who are like, I just can't wait for them to make SmackDown 3 hours.
Exactly what it is.
Sophie says the writer's strike is finally over. Oh,
They
bummer.
caved, huh?
The writers caved?
No, it wouldn't have been the writers.
The other people caved?
So did they agree not to do AI-generated material?
Robert says, I'm great. My weekend was good. Thanks for asking. Well, good. Good to hear it, Robert. Glad you had a great weekend. Chris says, yeah, it took 146 days, and yeah. Oh, Sophie said that. Chris says, Cody with another political rant. Is it political? I don't know what you're talking about. It's weird.
What's political?
I have no idea. Cody's rant. Chris says, strike is over, damn it. No Batista then.
Judgment Day.
Yeah, the right decision. So he says, but the actors are still on strike, though. Yeah?
What the hell are they striking for? They get paid whatever they get paid.
Because the writers were on strike, too? That's weird. Robert's like, I hope y'all weekend was great, too. It wasn't too bad.
It was a good Sunday. Can't remember what Saturday was. You shopped all day.
No, I didn't.
Oh, shit.
Not all
was
day.
that Friday?
I only did it part of the day.
Oh.
And then I came home and made dinner and watched some boxing with you and
Yeah, I just wanted to watch that Conor Ben fight.
fed you food and whatnot.
At the end.
You lucky bastard. Sophie says LA Nate got COVID. That's why he didn't show up at the end of SmackDown as planned.
Yeah.
Ooh. Poor guy. He got the sickness.
Did I tell you Megadeth's coming to town?
Yeah, you said that earlier. At
Megadeth.
lunchtime, I think you told me.
There's a couple other bands opening for him that I've heard of, but like I don't know. Like I don't know their music, but they're popular. Same era. I only like one Megadeth song. Symphony of Destruction.
Barbara's like, okay, that's good. Chris says, did you see Julia Hart versus Sky Blue Travis? Sexy matchup.
I did watch it.
Sophie says, I wonder when they will announce the new Raw TV deal. When they get it done. Dirty Dawn eats corn. Long way.
So they play it off like it's really loud because it's louder, right? But they lower the volume on his mic. And so it's kind of corny. Like you can completely pick it up. See, now watch, they'll lower the volume if he tries to talk.
Ayla's in the chat. Hey, Ayla says, my friend's crazy girlfriend pulled a pew-pew out on everyone, so I spent all night talking to a SWAT team. I called 911 on her dumb self.
Who is it? What?
What?
Somebody's boy.
Your friend's crazy girlfriend? Which one? You have a friend who has a crazy girlfriend? What the fuck? How was your birthday party I didn't get to go to on Friday?
Was it like grandma that pulled it out?
No. My friend's crazy girlfriend pulled a pew-pew out on everyone.
Right. At the birthday party?
I don't know when. She'll have to elaborate the when and where part.
Sounds fantastic.
Sophie says, did you see the promo by Tony Khan saying this pay-per-view on Sunday is going to be the end of an era of AEW, but also a start of a new chapter for the company? Nope. I don't listen to anything he says because it's all garbage.
I didn't hear that either. It's
the
a new
whole
era.
comment?
I didn't hear the comment either, but was it Tony Khan stuff? Yeah. He's going to have a new era because WWE's releasing people.
Yeah. Maybe. Ooh, empty-handed. You keep your name out of your mouth. Sophie says, did you see the promo by Tony Khan saying this pay-per-view on Sunday is going to be the end of an era of AEW, but also a start of a new chapter for the company?
That's pretty funny. And I'm going to watch it, but I'm not planning on doing it live. I don't like when they do the split promotion stuff.
Wrestle Dream. Harley says, I took care of my sick girlfriend and need chicken noodle soup this. Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Sick
That's
girlfriend's a chicken noodle soup.
That's how you cure SARS. I know that for a fact. You have to use Sprite, too, though. Make sure you use Sprite if she's got SARS.
Oh, look, he's got a new-so out there. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he just popped up. He literally just popped up. He come running in from the crowd up underneath.
Really?
Yeah.
It's weird.
See, it's 2-on-3. Sammy's going to show up.
Chris says, Dom was actually pretty chill with Rhea on the YouTube channel of Shotzi and Scarlett. They visited a haunted
2 more.
jail.
Now they have the numbers.
Nice. Ayla says, it's a long, long story. The friend and his kids stayed the night all weekend. Finally, we took him and them back home, and she pointed a pew in our face and lost her mind.
Pew, pew. Because you kidnapped her husband? What was going through her mind?
Why was your friend and his kids staying with you guys for the weekend?
Oh, you stole her children.
Sophie says with them going to Saudi Arabia now, who are they going to put on the card now since 2 of the people that they usually put on the card they released? Are you talking about Mustafa Ali and Mansoor?
Oh, look at... We could have an 8-man. Look at this. WWE's pulling an AEW.
It's McDowell.
McDowell showed up. They brought some furniture.
Dom's like, I don't know what to do. My lady's not here to tell me yay or nay.
What the hell's Damien like? Why would you do this?
What a dumbass.
Right or wrong, you take sides with your dog, dude.
Dumbasses. Bunch of dumbasses.
You start throwing punches first, then ask questions on the ride home.
Mm-hmm. It was like last night was Sunday. Micah is the friend. The party was Friday. It was okay. You got to celebrate your birthday with old grandma.
How'd you react to getting a pew-pew in your face? I always wonder how I would react. Because it really happened, you know, like so.
Yeah. Ew, Aaron. Hey, Aaron. Chris says Rhea is off because of Buddy Matthews' birthday. Oh, I thought she was broken. Ayla says, ew, Aaron, another account, haha, what the fuck? Sophie says, do you think Jay and Jimmy will somehow end up back together?
Yes. 100%. They have to. They're nothing without each other.
Tonight, undisputed WWE Tag Team titles.
Wow.
Oh, hey, there's that other one, the NXT North American Championship
Yay.
happening on our TV instead of NXT where it belongs. Dumb.
High-flying luchador. You know what that means? Midget.
Sophie says Ellie and Mansoor. Yeah, that's what I figured you're talking about. So it says, but JD isn't officially a Judgment Day yet. Nah, he's just really, really big old butt buddies with Finn Balor.
It's unofficial. It's unofficial.
Ayla says it was a domestic thing. They got in a huge fight, and the police told him that he needed to leave if he had somewhere to go and take the kids with him. Chris says, and honestly, I can possibly see why Scarlett isn't on TV. She cannot do a promo to save a life on that video. However, I would overlook that for sure. Well, as long as her boobs are hanging out. I mean, jeez.
Maxine. Look at this. Otis and Reed.
There's no way that guy's 6 foot.
They're going to be slapping me.
Ew.
It's going to be a meat slapper.
Robbie's in the chat. Hey, Robbie says, if you smell what The Rock is, oh, it's Monday Night Raw, not SmackDown.
Right?
Sophie says, an 8-man tag at Fastlane.
They don't want any title matches at Fastlane, I guess.
Ayla's like, that was his story. I hate humans. I didn't want them here. Sophie says, there is talk of an Office reboot. They're going to announce it when the strike is officially over. That sounds dumb. Why would they ruin such a good thing? It's
Really? I thought
chat.
the same thing, and I was thinking about it. I was like, that show was terrible after, like, season 3.
Doesn't matter. Reboot fucking The Big Bang Theory. Do
okay.
it. With how
long-
much you hated it at the end. Reboot it. And it starts exactly where they left off.
Yeah, but will they do that?
Reboot Cheers. Reboot Frasier.
Right.
Reboot. Let's reboot them all. Reboot
Right,
all those.
But you're talking about...
Half the cast are dead. They're
Right.
old.
You're also talking about classics. We're talking about The
Reboot
Office.
Friends.
The Office wasn't... The Office is on the lower tier. It's like...
The Office,
It's in the top
for
100.
some
It's not in
people,
the top
is
50.
a classic. And it's a cult following that follows it.
Right. And it's good. It's really funny for like 3 years, 4 years. Whenever Michael Scott leaves, guess what? Stupid.
Well, of
After
course
he
it
leaves.
was.
And it's like... I
That
think you
wasn't
can-
the 3rd season, though. That was like the 5th season. You're keeping it short where it wasn't. That thing went on for like 7 or 8 seasons.
Once he
9
like moved
seasons
in
or
with the
some
girl with
shit,
the big
12.
fake boobs, it was kind of weird then too.
Well, of course it was. She was weird.
I liked her because she had big boobs, but
She didn't have big boobs.
they were enormous.
She didn't, and then she did.
Oh. Yeah. You think she just like hit like a growth spurt?
No, remember he paid for her to have boobs.
I don't-
Before that, she didn't.
I don't remember that.
It's Surf is in the chat. Hey, it's Surf says Nia Jax versus Io Sky would be amazing for the belt at Fastlane.
I agree.
After.
They
Yeah,
should.
maybe they could break Io Sky.
They need to do that in a cage with no rules.
Ravi says big up, and Nayla says, I was so mad and shaking. I had my kids in the car. I immediately called 911 and cried a bit.
The emotion. See,
It's adrenaline.
my worry is that I pull my gun out because you're justifiable, and then you have to deal with that because I always carry a pistol.
Right?
So it's like, and obviously I pull the trigger, so it changes things because he probably had his kids there, her kids were there.
Or their kids or whatever. Whether they're his or theirs together, I don't know.
But that worries me when I carry because I always feel like there's a huge responsibility that goes along with it. But you can't not do it because she could kill somebody you're with.
Definitely.
So hypothetically, she somebody, and then you didn't do it. I say this stuff all the time. Like when you go to a grocery store and you walk in, and somebody in front of you is going to rob the place, so they pull a gun out. Mm-hmm. You have 3 choices. Do nothing. Shoot them. Or pull your gun out and tell them to freeze.
Right.
So if you do nothing and then they kill the clerk, you have to live with that because you have the power in your hands. It's that great power, great responsibility thing.
Right.
If you shoot them and it was a fake gun, which you're still not going to get in trouble, but still, like it's either it's fake or it wasn't loaded or they weren't going to do it. Mm-hmm. Can you live with that? Like, because that's what you're going to be replaying in your head all the time. Or you pull your gun out and tell them to freeze or whatever until the cops get there. But then there's 2 choices they have. They could shoot or turn, and then you got to shoot them anyways. Or they run. I guess if they run, you just let them go, because I care less if they ran. But do you put the blame on them, because it is their fault, when they took it too far, and then you just go to sleep that night and you're done? Like, if you do shoot them, just pull it out, go home, eat your ice cream.
Well, I think you'd have to be provoked to shoot them.
If they have a gun pointed at somebody else, that's provoked. That's the 3 options when you carry, and that's why it's really scary carrying. Look at these 2 behemoths. Should probably be timing it. Bronson, look at the ring shift.
Anyways, Surf says, why do you say little person when AEW Bandito is 6 foot? Is he though?
AEW Bandito. Is Bandito 6 foot tall?
I feel like that's a lie. Aaron, stop making accounts and annoying people. I don't like it. It Surf says Maxine will never be Mandy Rose.
I don't think she's supposed to be.
Sophie says now with the writer's strike over, that means the next 5 weeks with Cena will be the last full-time run of Cena for who knows when. Chris says I still want Ludwig Kaiser to still Maxine.
Me too.
Ravi says don't reboot Friends. Chris says never reboot All in the Family. It Surf says reboot Futurama, and Ayla says maybe a reboot of Friends would be good. Ha ha ha. Walter says, hey, Ayla, and Ravi says American versions of British classics are dumb and the jokes never work. They work just fine, Ravi. It's just because it's not English humor.
You know, that's something that we should do, is watch that. Because I like that English guy.
British Office.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if he stayed around longer.
I don't know. Ayla says, hi, Walter. Walter says, Otis for the win. Itster says, George Lopez show was better than Friends.
That George Lopez show is creepy.
Walter says, okay, at 9:05, I'm going to be here Wednesday for AEW still in
Oh, my
chat.
God.
Ravi says,
oh!
Yo.
I was watching that George Lopez show, and a sex predator moved into their neighborhood, a registered sex offender. And I probably shouldn't call it a predator, but a sex offender moved into the neighborhood. And they get, like, everybody in the neighborhood, like a clan, you know?
God.
And they go up to the door, and Lopez is leading this, you know, torches and pitchforks.
Oh, God.
Not really, I'm just saying that. They get to the door, they knock on the door, and they ask for Chris or whatever. And she's like, yeah, that's me. And they're all like, how are you a sex offender? Like, she had sex with one of her students or something. Mm-hmm. He was like 16. They're like, well, I got stuff to do at home. Like, none of them care.
A woman.
And he was 16 or 15 or something. Mm-hmm. They're like, oh, and she was pretty. They're just like, oh, I got shit to do at home.
That's like the kids that they do statutory rape on the minute they turn 18 because the parents don't like him dating their daughter or some shit.
Right.
Well, how dare you? It's ridiculously dumb. But Walter says, okay, at 9:05, I'm going. I'll be here Wednesday.
Oh, big clothesline.
Ravi says, Ayla, yo.
Oh, shit. Otis is doing the same thing back. Samoan drop.
Ravi says, Ayla, yo, was that you that posted a selfie the other day, you slowly morphing into Taylor Swift? And Ayla says no one, Ravi. USA The Office is way better than the British Michael Scott said. So ha 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 on the original writers. And let's see, Robbie says the British Office was the original and best. We know it was the original. I don't know
I
about
haven't
the
seen it. I
best.
can't argue it.
Chris says Tiffany Stratton, yeah. And
Uh-oh.
It Surf says Taylor Swift is trash.
Oh, he
Did you
couldn't
know
get
she
up.
never
Poor
dated
guy.
black guys before? Okay. And It Surf says, Ayla, are you talking to yourself or something? Ayla says, so the pew-pew was loaded and no safety was on. I'm not joking when I say more than 20 police officers with big pew-pews came, made her get on the ground and handcuffed her.
She, kept the weapon on you guys even after you called the police? She didn't leave? What a nutbag.
Walter says...
1, 2, and... It's about... I got to estimate because I didn't start it right on time.
Walter says Braun Strowman and almost the big guys released their free agents, AEW or NWA or Impact. Maybe. I don't know. I haven't heard or seen anything specific, Walter. So it's Surf. What you talking about, Ayla? And Ayla's like, no, I'm talking to this guy, Aaron, who makes new accounts to harass me. Ayla, I have a great deal for you. The minute that he comes in, block it. Don't even respond to anything. Just block it.
I haven't seen anything about Amos, and I'm looking on Twitter, and right now this guy says, big ups to Amos for surviving the WWE cuts. Was everyone freaking out about Amos attacking Cody Rhodes and then possibly having a feud? So he did show up at a house show, Amos, and beat up Cody during his Dominic match.
So he says there were talks of an Office reboot before, a couple years after the Office officially ended.
So when we say reboot, is it the same cast?
That's usually what rebooting means. So
Oh, look, it's Tegan No Knees.
Hey. Yeah, I saw her fart. Sophie says Mansoor said that Tiffany Stratton was almost Maxine Dupree. Walter says, okay, Otis, get back in this. He didn't. He lost. Robbie says, been watching some American lads talking football on YouTube on a Spurs fan and an Arsenal fan. Looks like football is really big in the USA. Are you talking about soccer?
No, it's not that big. There are some fans. It is coming around. It is becoming more popular. I know the high schools are pushing it a little bit more, and it is more popular than it was 20 years ago, but it's still not popular. If you're really good and you're an American, you're going to go play for a European team. You're not going to play for the MLS, which is Major League Soccer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like every time I block him, he's back. It's gross. Sophie says it is hard to reboot shows, especially for fans who have watched the original show. You can tell the difference right away. Walter says, Ayla, do it again. Block him. And Ayla's like, damn, Walter, every time. Chris says, yeah, that fucked up man, when a woman does it, it's fine. No one bats an eye. Well, if anything, it's a young man's teenage dream to go out with a teacher.
Exactly. You'd be like, what? We didn't have any hot teachers. Wasn't even an option.
So it'll be interesting to see how they reboot The Office and how many original cast members will sign on. And Walter's like, Ayla, I got him. Ayla's like, you're sweet, Walter. Yes, she did, Travis. She's insane.
In the membrane.
And she held on to her loaded pew-pew. Walter says, read one, good match. Ravi says, the guy, Stephen Merchant, who wrote The British Office, I seen him do stand-up. He came to my hometown. He was so funny. Walter says, Becky Lynch on Raw. And Chris says, holy shit, Tegan Nox, she came from under the table finally.
She got to come up and get some air.
Chris. She needed some air, buddy. And a little bit of vitamin D. That wasn't, an eggplant. Sophie says, now it will be interesting where Raw lands. Walter says, Ciampa for the win. Robbie says, is Tegan getting a reboot? Sophie says, for some reason, your mic kept getting cut off on my end. I don't know what to tell you. Sorry. Robbie's like, yes, soccer, D. Cool. Oh, cool. It's another one. Chris says, let's go, boy. The Drip King Ludwig Kaiser. And Robbie says, but the lads on their channels were saying how big it's getting in America.
It's getting more popular. It's like beach volleyball during the Olympics.
Don't even respond. Just block. Don't talk. Don't make a comment about him. Just block him. Sophie says, Tegan Nox on Raw. Wow, another person I'm surprised survived the cuts. Well, she's, giving it the till Triple H under the table, so we know why she's still around. Walter says, Ravi, watch, please, block, thanks. Sophie says, Ciampa versus Gunther, interesting feud.
Yeah. I would assume we'll see that at the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
On the 7th or whatever day that is.
Sustainable.
I like when October has a Friday the 13th.
You like October's more when there's a Friday the 13th?
Mm-hmm. It's just kind of
True.
cool in that month.
It's like, Walter, Ravi doesn't notice because he uses different names almost every time. Ravi's like, Walter, no worries. And Walter's like, okay, Ayla. Ayla says, thanks though, Walter. And Ravi's like, so what's next for Becky Lynch? Looks like she's going to have she had an open challenge for that title. And she was hoping somebody like, what's-her-face, No Knees, decided to come out from under the table and talk about it. And she was like, I was hoping someone like you would come out and do something about it. Sophie says all 3 shows in the beginning of the year, all pay-per-views will be held in stadiums.
It's good
That's
shit.
weird. Why would they be held in stadiums at the beginning of the year in the middle of winter? That sounds stupid, Sophie. They should just do it out in the middle of the winter time in, like, Alaska.
The frozen tundra of Alaska.
Yeah, Elimination Chamber outside in the frozen tundra of Alaska with grizzly bears and moose. Perfect.
Oh.
Exactly, Ayla. Just don't even respond. If a name comes up that you're like, done. Just block right away. Don't even make a comment. Just be like, block, 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 block.
Why would you get a rematch?
Walter says, so this week, no bingo Wednesday. They're out of town. What? Bastards. They don't have a stand-in, Walter? Rude.
She sounds like the original girl on, what is that show called? With a Parent Trap?
Haley Mills?
Well, she's yelling now, but when she was talking, yeah. If that's her name, the blonde.
Haley Mills is her name, yeah. Sophie says, remember when Tiffany was a spoiled rich brat? She isn't?
You know, they had to drop that character because they didn't have anybody to play her dad. That's pretty funny.
They had to drop what?
Her character, because there was no one to play her dad.
What character?
That she was just like spoiled.
Oh, Tiffany. Okay. I'm like, who? Sorry. Sophie had made that comment and then other things happened and then you said it. So it was like 5 minutes in between you making a comment about the whole why she had to drop the character. I'm like, who? What? These bitches are all yakking on TV. You had comments about, yeah, when she talked, she sounded like what's-her-face off of the original Parent Trap.
Yes, she did.
And DePauli is in the chat. Hey, DePauli, good to see you tonight. How are you? Sophie says, if the pay-per-view in Australia takes place at 6 a.m. here, what time will it be in Idaho? 2
4.
hours before that.
It'll be 4 in the morning when we watch that shit.
Walter's like, Natalia, okay.
I'll be going to bed at like 9 the night before.
I'm just going to stay up all night.
Because it starts at 4. That's funny. Well, she'll stay up all night, and I'll sleep, and we'll see who.
It was like, by the way, I love that sweater, Delete. That's super soft. Yeah, it was really nicely made and super soft, yeah. The ghost is pretty fucking cute, too. Did you make sure and wear it on your birthday to flip everybody off?
Why would they want little Ciampa to wrestle Gunther? It doesn't even make sense.
I don't know. Why is it Ludwig Kaiser out there?
Well, because he has to beat Ludwig to get to Gunther.
Oh, well,
which he
probably
will.
So.
Yeah. The orc. Mm-hmm. The angry orc. I'm definitely not a fan of Tomasa. I don't hate him, but I'm not a fan.
Robbie's like, lock that sharpshooter in and she won't be walking for a long time. Well, if you did it to No Knees, it'd be perfect. She has
That's
no
who she's
knees, so it
talking
wouldn't
about.
work very well.
The sharpshooter's Natalia's move.
I know.
Oh, okay.
That's why I was saying if she did it to Tegan, then yeah, it would be perfect because she wouldn't be walking. Just tear one of her one of their knee ligaments off again. That'd be hilarious.
One of them.
So it was like, imagine if Tiffany was Maxine Dupree as rumored, but would it still have worked? No.
No, her voice is kind of annoying. Tiffany's.
Maybe she does that on purpose.
Oh, I'm sure she does, but Maxine doesn't really talk. Or
Well,
Tiffany can. It's just kind of annoying. Like,
Walter says, I'll be in bed when that pay-per-view happens. Whatever, Walter, you're going to get the fuck up at 6 a.m. and watch it with us. Ayla's like, I got a lot of comments. Hopefully it was good comments.
from
Robbie
the
says,
police.
go on Ayla with the sweater gift. And Chris says, Kaiser schooling Ciampa in backstage promo. And Ayla says, haha, I wore it to work because I'm trash. Nice. Sophie says, I think the Elimination Chamber is the first pay-per-view I might miss live since I might be sleeping when it airs. And Walter's like, cool, Ayla, sweater. It was like, yeah, Walter, it has a ghost giving the middle finger. Sophie says, with the Saudi Arabia pay-per-view, I might miss it since my roommate's birthday is on that day. Robbie says, is Joe DeBest still about? Yeah, go find him.
I don't know. Is he?
I'm sure he is, Robbie.
It's an interesting question.
Go look him up. Go hang out in his chat. Walter says, WWE, please do replays on pay-per-views when they're early. Boo! You just have to get up and watch it live, Walter.
You can watch that anytime you want to.
Just wake
After
up
it's
really
over,
early and have a cup of coffee with us.
after it's over, it'll be on the network all day. Peacock, you just watch it anytime. So is this pay-per-view for AEW coming up this Sunday? Is it going to be on HBO?
I don't think so.
So we have to pay for that?
Sophie's like, I thought Joe the Best was retired. I don't know. Look him up. I don't know what's happening with his shit. I'll go following his stuff. You guys should, like I said, go search it out. Maybe that's why we have what's his face in here so much again.
I figured we'd get quite a few people from his chat if he did quit. I didn't think he was done.
And somebody there. Walter says, go Ciampa, get the win. Chris says, yeah, Joe is still around. That's what I thought. Why would he quit? Silly. That would be silly for him if he did. Rob is like, Dean, man, I'm just asking as you remember your preview shows with Joe. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure he is. So it says you guys used to do predictions with him.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we sure did. Those were the days, right? And then life changes and things go and move and all kinds of stuff. It was like, thanks for reminding them. They forgot. Walter says, Joe is still around. He does live stuff. Sophie says, too bad you didn't start the channel like 10 years ago.
Yeah, I know. I thought about that. You know, and I should have, because I've been a wrestling fan, and it would have helped me get back into it 10 years ago, too, because that's when I was starting to get right back into it. But can't go backwards. They always say the best time to start on YouTube is 10 years ago, and the next best time is now.
Yeah. Now it's more like 12 or 15, 20 years ago, really, for YouTube. But yeah, sure. I mean, because you think about it, 10 years ago was only 2013.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's when a lot of these channels like us started.
So it's like, imagine all the pay-per-views and Raw SmackDowns that you guys missed before starting your channel.
Oh, yeah. There's a crap ton.
Yeah, you know what? I don't imagine it. I just move on with my life because I don't really care.
Lots of stuff would have been different, for
Because
sure.
in all reality, I don't think anything in the past would change what's happening right now.
You'd have a lot more subscribers, like to the point where you wouldn't be able to have conversations.
Well, if you're going about it that way, that's fine. But they're not talking about that. They're talking about missing shows and pay-per-views and stuff. I don't really give a shit. Everything would be where it is now, no matter if we watched it or not. That's what the point I'm making. I'm not talking about the growth of our channel or anything of that nature. It was like, yeah, too bad, guys. Maybe you should have started in '06 around when YouTube became a thing, or you should have started one of those public TV programs on cable.
Right?
I know, right? We should have been on, what do you call
Public
it? PBS
access.
or whatever.
They have a public access
broadcast.
one. We could still do that shit as long as we didn't swear.
It was like where people could have called in. Right?
Like Fun with Flags.
Fun with flags. Robbie says, so Trump is going to be anything in wrestling. We could start doing call-ins. I don't know how well it would work out for us, but...
I'm down. I just got to hook it up through the board. I just
Robbie
have to buy
says-
some cords. I guess I could do it. I have a phone that people can call. I don't care.
Robbie says, so Ciampa is going to be anything in wrestling. Just go get us a burner phone.
Well, I have that
has
other
minutes.
phone.
That's for real a burner phone that, like, can't, you know... Like, you could just be like, sorry, we're getting rid of that one. Just chuck it. Then get the next one.
I'm going to put some more minutes on it. Here, hold on.
Walter says, kid news. Joe the Best is live watching Raw and singing. Fantastic. Walter, see, Walter checked it out. He knows.
Yeah,
see?
they,
for him.
there's ways to do it through the internet, too, where you don't
I'm sure
need a
he's
phone.
got a big old following now because he's, like, on TV in Nigeria and shit. So.
Well, yeah, and he posts, like, videos on shorts of wrestling. And I'm always worried to get banned. I do it on TikTok because I could care less so I get banned on TikTok. And so he was like at 30, 40,000. Mm-hmm. But not for his watch-alongs.
Yeah.
It's just for those videos.
Yep.
Which is fun. I mean, it gets a few more people in there and stuff.
It says, I remember those live TV shows back in the day with the phone number flashing on the bottom of the screen. Call in and donate your money.
Oh, God.
Excuse me.
Yeah, those were on PBS. That's a little different. We wouldn't be doing that, but yeah.
Robbie says, I don't care about wrestling. I missed.
They still do that, by the way. You could, if you watch PBS, they do fundraisers still. It's pretty fun. Like, they'll have, like, old Lawrence Welk or other fun shows on there. So I just don't watch it anymore.
So he says some YouTube channels started when COVID first happened. And Chris says, yeah, and you can call in if you have a Discord. Nice.
Yeah,
Sophie
that's one. There's
did you
a few
hear
others
Adam
too.
Cole and Chris Jericho are wrestling on November 12th outside of AEW? Nope.
No, that's
Ayla
cool.
says Ozzy and Indigo say hi. They're watching. Oz calls
Hi.
you Tractor.
It's old Tractor.
You're a Tractor?
I'm Tractor, yeah.
You're Tractor? Mm-hmm. You're not Travis?
Tractor.
He's like, I don't know how to fucking say your name, bitch. You're a Tractor. Walter's like, good, Raw. I want more fights later. Well, hi, Ozzy. Hi, Indigo. Hi.
Good to see ya.
Walter says, good, Raw. I want more fights later. Harley says, have you thought about doing a panel like using Google Meet Call?
Yeah, I mean, it takes a little bit of effort to collab with other performers and stuff, and that's the only reason I don't do it.
There's that win we knew Ciampa was going to get,
Yeah.
everybody.
Little over 8 minutes.
Chris says, and some channels do pranks when they call in. They call the sex phone line and pretend to do a wrestler's impression on the women. It's funny.
That is pretty funny.
Robbie's like, LOL, imagine Deanna call and show LOL, just send the link out to join. No need for a phone. Walter says, what movie, Ayla? And Ayla says, I remember the local ones. I watched two guys just talking. People would call in and be jerks so they'd hang up.
Ooh, another thing we could do is just text messaging. That would work.
Text messaging?
Yeah, they text and then you read it.
Oh. Robbie says that was a Homer Simpson burp. Yeah. Sophie says at least with the early morning pay-per-view, you don't have to wait all day for the pay-per-view to air.
Oh, I'll set everything up the night before. So literally all I have to do is just come in and start.
Walter says, yes, Ciampa won. Ayla's like, Indigo is so excited because they said hi. Yay, Indy! You go, girl!
Woo! Indigo! Ozzy, be nice to your sister.
Right?
Hopefully this match is on now.
The Dominic one?
Yes.
It might
Just
be
get it
just
over
because
with.
they're showing a lot of previews for it.
So he's Dragon Lee.
Yeah, his name's Dragon Lee.
Dragon Lee.
Dragon Lee, yeah.
Dragon Lee. Not Dragon Lee. Like Bruce Lee, but Dragon Lee.
Walter, I'm just going to let you know that that's the person that we're blocking. Just so you know. That you said hey to. It's cool.
It's a verb.
Robbie says, LOL, D, that was the most cheesiest hello. Dude, she's like 3.
Yeah.
Hello. Asshole. Jesus. God. It was like private time with Travis and Talitha. Ew. Sophie says this writers and actors strike hurt some YouTube channels since most of them are part of both of the writers and actors strikes. Oh, bummer for them. Don't care.
Never mind. That's the whole.
That 45's like, I can't run any farther down the field.
Throwing interceptions.
Oh, Walter says, so the strike will be over soon? Well, according to Sophie, the writer's strike is over, Walter. So there's that. Oh, no, it's the women's match up next, one we cannot watch. Fantastic. Sophie says, do you think they think WWE audience are zombies because they are putting on a pay-per-view very early in the morning?
You know, okay, well, first of all, it's planned. Let's just use that word. Planned.
Which pay-per-view is this, by the way?
It's in February 24th.
Oh, the one in Australia?
It's in Australia.
Oh, okay.
It's coming from the land down under. It's called Elimination
Chamber 1? Okay. Walter says, Becky Lynch promo. Okay.
Not a promo. She's there to watch the match. She's going to be on commentary.
Yeah, the match is Tegan Nox and Natalya. They both want that title for some ungodly reason. And Chris says, Becky always wearing shiny Spanx. She's in her dominatrix era, Chris. Leave her alone. Robbie says, D, I was laughing. Of course I know they are kids. Are you sure? Because it was condescending and kind of rude on your part.
Oh, Lord.
Anyways, Ayla's like, okay, I'm leaving. Night, guys. Okay, bye, Ayla. Thanks for hanging out with us for like 45 minutes. Now my life is going to be sad.
She has to go deal with her PTSD.
Next time you just need to slap a hoe. Kick her in the shin.
I smack you. I smack you. I smack you.
She wouldn't expect it. She'd be like, what the fuck? Point a gun at me, bitch, and my kids. Whack! Backhand!
Do it the old-fashioned way, just a quick, like, poke. Like, ah!
Poke her in the eye.
Like a hard one, and then smack the shit out.
Sophie says, do you expect any other Out of America pay-per-views next year from WWE?
Well, a few. Obviously, you're going to have your Saudi Arabia shows.
There's going to be a couple of them.
And then you'll have your Australia show. They might do another one in England.
They might. I thought they were going to be doing What's Her Face in London again or whatever. No, that's AEW. Sorry.
That's what I'm saying. So have Vince just do it, book it the same day.
Well, the fact that they do UFC stuff all over the place, they're going to start doing WWE in a lot more countries, most likely.
I wanted to do it on that helipad in Abu Dhabi or whatever. I wonder how many wrestlers would be like, no, I'm good. I'm not going.
How about no?
Vince will be like, then we're going to have you throw them off. Don't worry, there'll be a net. Like, what the fuck, you? I landed in no net.
So, do you feel comfortable wrestling in a parachute?
They're in, like, gliders. Those glider outfits.
They're all like, push.
Vince won't have a wrestler do anything that he won't do. That motherfucker will get up there.
Oh,
Vince don't give a shit. It's funny.
Sophie says if Becky loses on Saturday, where does she go next?
The garbage bin. She can't lose. That would be dumb. I don't like her winning either, by the way. Because Tiffany should win, but we all know Becky's the star. Especially the women's division. If you take your ratings from a show that gets around 500,000 to 600,000 and you put it right at 1 million when you come on TV, you're a star. That's what a star is. That means people are watching it. That's what I did. I turned it there for just that wrestling match. Remember? On Tuesday?
Yeah.
I turned it there. We watched it live. That's a star. Like you need to just watch them. So her ratings spiked to 1 million when she came on, or higher.
Robbie says, "Do you got any remedies for sore throat? Was at my mate's charity Rave emceeing, DJing for a good few hours. Voice is a bit crook. Well, considering you probably already know, but you'll want to drink warm liquids.
Honey.
I would say this is what I would do. But I don't know if you would do this. So lemon water, so lemonade, basically, and honey, but warm. Sounds disgusting. Most people would find it gross. But hot lemonade or warm lemonade and with honey in it would coat your throat and make it feel better. Hard candies are another one. If you have any hard candies, they'll kind of help because it'll make you produce more saliva, which will lubricate your throat more. So it'll get kind of rid of the soreness. So if it says, I expect a lot of call-ups from NXT after Saturday.
We'll see.
Chris says, I'm actually sweating now. My stros are falling apart, but we won't go down without a fight. Not to mention, we are going to have rematch of Century against Mariners. We probably will play 27 innings.
Please no. That 18-1 was bad enough.
Sophie says, do you expect Dom to lose tonight or Saturday?
Did they give him a new opponent for Saturday?
And is Saturday like a pay-per-view?
For them, yeah, NXT.
Robbie says, it looks like WWE does see something in Tegan to keep her.
Well, of course. I don't know what it is, though. It's because it's definitely not in-ring work, and it's not looks. You can see how slow the in-ring work stuff is. It's terrible.
Sophie's like, poor Dom, he doesn't have a match for Saturday now.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. I feel like it would be hard to beat Dom for the fact that the Judgment Day's around. But it makes a lot more sense to take the title off of him. He doesn't need it.
Sophie's like, Z's to this D talk. Yeah, I really don't give a shit, Sophie.
Oh, God.
Chris says, now with an LA Knight being over, if he revisited NXT, do you think he'd get ratings over MIL?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why he wouldn't. I don't know if people would tune in especially. If anything, a lot of wrestling fans would just think that he got downgraded.
Sophie says, do you expect LA Knight or Gunther to win the Rumble in January?
It's tough. Probably Cody would be my guess, like a back-to-back win. Unless he's in a feud with the Bloodline going into the new year. Then I think it'll be Cody again.
Robbie says, might have to try the hot lemonade with honey. Cheers for the hookup. Tegan, she bats for the other side.
Is that what the hair's all about?
I don't think so.
What the hell is going on over here? Is that Dance with the Stars or something? Oh, no.
Guess so.
Oh, I did. 238.
So if Gunther goes back to NXT, would he get ratings over MIL?
You know, another hard one to say. A lot of wrestling fans don't know who he is unless they're internet wrestling fans. But I think he's becoming more popular. But Becky's on the Rock level, on Stone Cold Steve Austin level. She's at that level now. I honestly think she's more popular than Charlotte.
Robbie's like, nah, it's true. She's a rainbow gal. Oh, yeah? Nah, I don't believe it. He must have said something really bad. Even Dom's like, I don't know. Dude,
He
I can't
said
repeat it.
he's going to do something to your face.
Ew, that's gross.
That's Kavasa's face.
Robbie says, of course No Knees wins. Of course. Well, yeah. it's Natalia.
Look at this
Of course she's
outfit.
gonna win over Natalia.
We got Seth Rollins coming down here. Whoa.
Sophie says, I expect them to keep putting main roster stars on NXT until they announce the new TV deals for Raw and NXT.
Yeah, they could do a lot of stuff. Make it a better product so it gets higher ratings, so they have to pay more money. Makes dollars, makes sense.
Makes no money. Sophie says, did you see Rick Boog's tweet after his release?
I did.
What do you say?
He said that the politics backstage, basically when Triple H took over, it ruined his career.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Basically, like different words, but same.
Meaning? Mm-hmm. Points in the same direction. I would not be surprised.
We
in
saw
all
it.
reality.
That's exactly what happened. Madcap, same. Anybody that was big or talented or charismatic.
Yeah, he fucked him. He fucked him real good. Without a courtesy reach around or even lube. Walter says Seth Rollins promo coming up. Yeah, Chris says Seth in a Michael Jackson outfit. Walter says Tegan Knox won over Natalia. Okay. And Robbie says, I never understood the big oversized sunny glasses. I don't know. So he says, I'm surprised Rick Boog said that about Vince. He didn't say it
wasn't about Vince.
It wasn't about Vince, Sophie.
It's about H.
You're not pointing in the right direction. You guys want Vince to be such a bad guy so badly that you will point your fucking little stupid stick towards him for everything. The fact that the reason why Rick Boogs got fucked over is because of your love interest, Triple H, and how much you guys love him so much. And all this stupid shit he did, and the stupid fucking people he brought back.
And then didn't release.
Tiny man that you could possibly think of, he put back in the ring and took time away from the people that were actually in storylines and things were happening for. And the fact that Rick Boogs did get injured, and when he came back, they totally didn't do anything with him because of Triple H. Not because of Vince. So he says, I thought Rick Boogs was going to say that Triple H helped his career. No.
No.
No. No.
That's why he's let go. Oh.
Chris says, SOB, the game has started. Come on, Strohs, damn it. Robbie says, D, would you cop and wear big oversized sunglasses? Not if I wasn't playing like a character or something.
It's pretty fun to wear the big glasses. Oh, God. What the fuck? This is like the Doge Show. Rex Kwando. A lot of you know me. Rex Kwando.
Come on down to...
Rex Kwando. Jesus Christ. Come at me. He's like, smack. You come at me. Come at me.
Oh, God.
He just keeps smack.
So it was like there was a weird rumor that Triple H and Stephanie are divorcing.
Yeah, because of Tegan. No, I don't know.
Sophie says there were hints of them making Elias and Rick Boogs into a tag team.
I mean, if Stephanie wants to leave him and then Vince just gets rid of him, maybe WWE can head in the right direction. Bring Shane back.
Right? Robbie says, is or was H the right man to take WWE forward?
No, they dropped the ball on that one.
He
And we
couldn't
saw
even
it.
take NXT forward.
What we
What
did
the fuck?
What we did see that I liked about what happened is the matches got longer.
The matches got longer and the entrances became cooler.
Yeah, that's it. The matches were longer, the entrances were cooler for sure.
Triple H is good as for things that are showman type stuff. Perfect.
Except for talking. Promos went down.
I'm not saying
Good
that.
ones.
I said showman.
Right.
Showmanship means entrances and your matches being longer.
Right.
That's showman. Not this stuff. Not promos. Not starting storylines. Not keeping storylines going or anything of that nature. Sophie says, I expect some of the talent that got released be brought back again. Oh, cool. Jetty Fowlers is in the chat. Hey, Jetty says, Mini Seth Rollins, help out WWE. Mini John Cena, help out YouTube channel. Sophie says, why can't Triple H and Vince work together?
I know, I don't understand it because
Triple H has a chip on his shoulder.
Vince McMahon is so good with talent and caring about promos. And then Triple H cares about matches and entrances. Like, you put those together and you got a fucking fantastic show.
So it was like, and the pay-per-views got shorter as well. Robbie says, I remember a couple years ago, you said H was that guy to take over from Vince. I didn't, Robbie. Don't make up shit, dude. It doesn't look becoming on you.
Triple H is Tony Khan. So we know exactly what the show will look like if Triple H is running it full time. It'll just be NXT. Or AEW, sorry.
Well, what NXT was before Triple H got kicked out of there.
Or,
All your little dudes that are everywhere. What's the answer?
Shinsuke Nakamura is the answer. It's like Allen Iverson.
So it says you could tell what is a Vince show and what a Triple H run show. And Robbie says, you did, D. I remember. Okay, well, you go back through all the video and you find the video and the timestamp and give it to me. Jetty says YouTube versus WWE. Walter says, okay, bye, guys. See you Wednesday for AEW.
Woo!
Bye, Walter. Thanks for
Walter.
hanging out with us tonight. See you on Wednesday. Sophie says a lot of people love the old NXT, though.
The ratings didn't show it.
Nope.
There's only about 700,000 people that watched it.
You have so many demands, Shinsuke says. No wonder your body fails you.
I want nothing more. To be the straw that broke the back. There'll be nothing left but dust. But I have restraint. And that dude ran all the way down to like the 6-7 yard line.
Can we call a timeout?
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
Oh.
Why they called the timeout, but they did. They must have had too many men on the field, or not enough men on the field, or just the wrong play. It's the last chance to fight.
Sophie says when Vince retired, a lot of YouTubers were happy. Robbie says even the little slight sight dudes need a place to wrestle. It's not a matter of having little guys and having big guys and only having one or only having the other. You have to have a good mix of both.
You do.
But Triple H wants all guys who are smaller than him.
It's like
And Vince
it's
goes
literally
with big guys, but he
AEW.
also gives small guys a chance as well.
Rey Mysterio.
Or other ones.
Right.
I'm just saying that he doesn't always put a big guy out there and be like, who's going to be your winner? Jetty says TikTok versus YouTube. Winners take all match next week. Oh, cool. Robbie's like, bring back Tough Enough. Sophie says NXT was good when it was on the WWE network. Sophie says today marks 10 years since Sasha and Bayley first met in NXT. Robbie says would be cool for Raw Underground to come back.
Well, I heard Shane might come back, so maybe they'll bring it
Chris
back.
says Seth versus Naka. Hell in a Cell. Sophie says Shinsuke versus Seth at Fastlane is rumored for a last man standing match.
There it is.
Well, here you go, Sophie. It might not be just rumor.
There it is. It's official.
And as Chris says, of course, BS last man standing match. Oh, yeah. BS. So they wanted to challenge it
First
to
down.
see if he got a first down? Oh, I see. That's why they did their timeout, huh?
The Buccaneers took the timeout, so yeah, maybe.
Yeah, they did a timeout. I think they
But usually you
wanted to
don't do a timeout for a challenge.
challenge it. No, they take your timeouts for challenges.
If you lose.
Oh.
If you win the challenge, it doesn't cost you a timeout.
Well, maybe they gave it back to him. I don't know. No, they didn't give it back to him. One critical mistake.
Down to the 2, 3, or I mean the 1.
Oh, sorry. It's the Eagles that had it done.
Mm-hmm. Is it spinal?
It's spinal. Exploit it. Robbie says, but a lot of the big guys failed, like Keith and Braun.
Yeah. Braun had an opportunity, but they just didn't take it. They didn't do him in the right direction. Keith Lee just didn't. He's just not that guy.
Sophie says Triple H writes long-term storylines. He already has plans for Mania for everybody. Sophie says Vince and Triple H always had this love-hate relationship. He didn't want Triple H to marry Stephanie in the first place in real life. Robbie says, I heard it through the grapevine that Rumor Mill is back. He's got every single thing he's got.
They're trying to ban that play.
The one they just did, but
Yeah.
forcing the
They
guys
call
across
it
the
the
line.
power sneak.
Why? Did people get hurt a lot on it or
No,
something?
because it can't be stopped.
Fuck them. Oh, win! Oh,
See,
yeah!
watch. Although it looks like they stopped him pretty damn good there.
Yeah, like sometimes
But if they do it again,
they won't be able to.
yeah, they're going to. Here it is. And he's in. See, it's the Eagles' move. They call it the power sneak because the Jalen Hurst is so big, their quarterback.
Who cares? They can't just decide to take something away because it works for a team and it's
I know.
legal.
I don't
It's
like that.
Oh, participation trophies. We have to make it fair. Well, you can do it too, you dumb assholes. Nobody said you couldn't do that play.
Minnesota tried it this week and got stopped.
Good. It happens. Maybe you should make sure you have enough plays to do it.
Yeah, you
To
have
do
to
it
have
twice.
you have to have the personnel to be able to pull.
And that. You have to have good stuff. Last man standing.
Last man
There's your
standing.
guys' rumored match.
Hey, we finally get a
It
title
happened.
match.
He's going to say it. He said it. Sophie says, we haven't seen a last man standing match in a long time in the WWE. Sophie says, that show Heels just got canceled today.
Oh, really?
Robbie says,
I've
Seth,
never
come
seen
on,
it.
dog. Fight instead of moaning like wussy.
Yeah, there's not going to be a fight.
Heels.
It's a wrestling movie.
Oh, I'm like, what the fuck is that?
I know it sounds like it's
I thought it was about shoes.
all right.
I thought it was literally about
High heels.
high heels. Like, who the fuck cares about a show about high heels?
I mean, she could be sexy,
I guess. Robbie says, Seth, come on, dog. Fight instead of moaning like a wussy. He's giving you a whole promo. He's telling you what's happening. Chris says, Rollins just said best in the world. Punk versus Rollins at Mania confirmed. Is that what it is, Chris? Not Shinsuke? Shinsuke's going to be replaced. So it says, Fastlane is next week. Finally, they are promoting it. It seemed like they forgot. It's next week? Huh. Oh no, Ricochet's broken? He got attacked? Never. He's like, I'm being released next week. The fuck does his... Fearless. Okay. Like, what the fuck does his tattoo say on his fucking shoulder right there?
Something about being a loser?
He's a loser. He's got something to say about Shinsuke Nakamura. No, he has a tattoo on his one shoulder that says fearless, but I couldn't tell that's what it said because he has all this weird, like, twirly stuff or something over the L, so it made it look like a T. And then the R has, like, a twirly thing that comes up from it, so it looked like a fucking H. And I was like, what the fuck does that say? Fetes? Fetes?
Spanish.
Fetes? Like, what the
Sounds
motherfucking fuck?
Did you see Taylor Swift was at the Cheese Game?
No. Why would I see that? I don't watch this crap.
Kelsey, they're dating, hardcore dating. And she was hanging out with his mom.
Kelsey Swift.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. On the Eagles team.
But that is Kelsey's brother.
Oh, no, it is.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
They
both
played against each other in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Both future Hall of Famers. She's got a really good birth canal.
What the fuck?
Wow.
What?
She's got 2 Hall of Famers. How many moms have given birth to 2 Hall of Famers?
Oh, I'm like, what? I think that's called genetics, not birth canal, sweetie.
Her birthing parts.
Sophie says if CM Punk walks back into the WWE, imagine how crazy the crowd will be. Sophie says maybe it means nothing.
They'll
Robbie
cheer.
says, Sophie, use your loaf. When does WWE ever really give an ish about promoting their pay-per-views on the shows? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
When
I
is
mean...
Fastlane? I don't even understand when it is.
What is it?
Fastlane
It's the 7th.
of October?
Yeah. So not this weekend, but the next weekend.
Okay. Like, what? Like, I have no idea what's happening.
It's the next big pay-per-view of wrestling. Boxing has a big pay-per-view this Saturday. Huge one. Huge. Anytime Canelo Alvarez fights, it's big. Anytime.
Anytime.
Even if it is against Melo. Mel. It's not Melo, it's just Mel. Mel Charlo. There's Jamal and Jamel. The brothers.
Yes.
Charlo, and it's Mel that he's fighting. I went to school with a kid named Santiago.
Yeah, that.
I almost understood that. This guy took mushrooms, like, and DMT, that stuff I tell you about, that DMT
Yeah.
stuff. He did mushrooms and DMT every day for 30 days.
Oh my god.
And he put this stuff on his skin that makes it where your skin can't breathe.
Oh,
Like
God.
it can't, nothing can happen that like seals it. So like lacquer on his skin.
Yeah.
So it couldn't leave his body.
Oh my god. That sounds retarded.
unless he pooped it out or peed it out. But like it couldn't evaporate like it's supposed to
That sounds really dumb.
through your pores. Anyways, he became a crazy person.
No, really?
But
How did that happen, I wonder?
he's like a genius now, like brain-wise. But he's weird with it because he's so out there.
Sophie's like, Pete Davidson is dating another model. Shocker. Not, it seems like he dates a model every couple of months. Oh, he's not with the Hobbit, Kim Kardashian, anymore?
No.
Imagine that.
Once they figure out that he's just a nerd, they're not going to stay with him. But at first, they think he's cool because he's funny. But he's a goof.
Chris says LA Knight returns, crowd pops, cut a promo, but then as he's in the ring, CM Punk theme hits, crowd pops. They both stand in ring, crowd cheers for 10 minutes straight. Well, dreams can't come true, Chris. Sophie says, do you expect us to get an LA Knight versus Cena match at some point?
That would be interesting. They could do something like that, but I don't see it happening. But I don't know how they would play it out.
Right?
Referee's got his blue gloves on and they're all ripped. What good is that?
He's going to get the blood in him. AIDS. He's going to get the AIDS.
And his fingernails.
Yeah.
Main event. Judgment Day versus Sammy and Kevin. It's dragonly. It's a verb. He's very dragonly.
So it says, if Jinder Mahal does somehow beat Roman, that will be a shocker and a surprise. And it doesn't make sense since everybody else that fought Roman lost.
Wait, when is that? What? Is this a thing? When did this happen? Why would Jinder fight Roman?
Why is this happening? It's weird. So it was like me, my mom, and our roommate watched Man of the Year today.
Nice. What's that about? Have we seen that?
I have no idea.
Is it about a woman? I could see that.
Do you think that Luke, since we haven't seen him, is totally fangirling because his bestie Swifty is dating a guy on his team that he really likes?
Right.
I think he's all like
What's funny?
jizzing in his pants about
What's
it.
funny is that the girl that he's dating is from Philadelphia, but that's where his brother plays.
That's funny. It was like, I played Spider-Man Remaster this past weekend.
How was it?
Video games. Tell us about your video game and the show that you told us about that I don't know what it is.
The Man's Show or whatever. Mr. President. I can't remember what it was called. Oh, Man of the Year.
Yeah, whatever that is. This is so great.
We should take a break. We'll see you guys in 15 minutes.
Bye. I'm gonna crochet and read a book.
I'm basically going to be watching the football game for the next 15 minutes. Or however long this match lasts.
Do you think that Dominic is going to continue to win? Or do you think he'll lose his thingy-majigger that he stole from somebody that actually deserved it, that's an actual NXT person?
Yeah, don't care. Honestly, I don't think this Dragon Lee's any better than Dominic. Dragon Lee. He's smaller than the referee, just so everybody knows. And the referee's tiny.
Makes
He-
Dominic
the tallest-
look like a giant.
Dominic's the tallest person in the ring, but the girl is just as tall as Dominic.
With
So
her
she's
shoes
the
on.
tallest one in the ring. Doesn't matter if she has shoes on or not.
That's funny.
People wear shoes. It's fine.
Let's see. Sophie says Jinder Mahal said something about Roman in an interview. Okay, Okay, that doesn't mean that he's going to have a match with him, though. That's weird.
Yeah, they're not going to put the title on Jinder again.
So he says, no, it is Robin Williams playing a comedian who became president.
Huh.
Never even heard of it. Didn't even know he did a movie like that.
That's kind of cool sounding.
So he says, I forgot how hard the game was, especially with the stealth missions.
Wesley. That's like the dumbest name in sports.
He's like, I'm Wesley. Like Wesley? No, like Wesley.
Right? Just like Dragon Lee when it's Dragonly. Sounds better when it's a verb. He's very dragonly in his movements.
Old dragon. Tyler's in the chat for a moment. Says just stop by to say hi. I'll see you all for AEW. I've been busy with art school.
Art school's
I'm going to try to do something for you guys. Don't know what, but I'm going to try to do something. Good night and rub. Ooh, cool.
Rub.
Art. I like art. Well, cool, Tyler. Thanks for stopping in and hanging out with us for just a minute and saying hi. Good luck with all your art school stuff. Sounds fun.
Definitely.
All artistic and shit.
I need to turn the channel. Not for the wrestling, but the football, because this game's turning into a blowout, and there's another game on.
Yeah, it's 6-3.
The other game?
It's live on ESPN and ESPN2.
Yeah.
It's in the second quarter.
Yep.
This looks like, what, the Bengals and somebody else?
It's the Bungles, yeah.
Versus
And the Ravens,
Chargers?
maybe? Oh, Chargers, maybe? I don't know.
Can't tell what that is up there.
But it's better than this one, because this one's about to score again.
Oh, no, the Eagles are going to win over the Buccaneer people? How did that ever happen? How did they get so bad after just one season?
Who? The Bucks?
Yeah.
They lost their quarterback. It's the Rams.
Oh, the Rams. I couldn't tell what it was. It was tiny, and it was up in the corner, that LA part.
Mm-hmm.
And the wrestling match is now on commercial break.
Yeah, it is. I can switch these and listen to the football noise for a second. Football noise.
So if it's like, my TV is running slow since it is raining here.
So the Bungles, by the way, lost their quarterback, but it looks like he's playing anyways, even though he's not supposed to.
What do you mean he's not supposed to?
He's hurt like a motherfucker.
He's hurt.
But they don't have a backup. Bill Belichick kind of like picked up their backup off waivers.
What the?
So, like, as Burrows was hurt, they're like, now what do we do? But he's playing, so it doesn't matter. So they signed some guy off of somebody else's practice squad.
Like, what do you mean he's hurt?
He's hurt, like injured.
What's
I
wrong
don't know.
with him?
I don't know. I don't
Then
pay
how
enough.
is he hurt?
Because I don't know. He can't be hurt.
It's true.
So no one in this world can be hurt if I don't know about
That's
him.
right.
It's weird science.
So if it's like, do you expect any more main roster people to get an NXT champ next?
Yes, but I don't know who or why. I don't know why anybody would want to go down there and get a title myself. Doing that to Becky's kind of weird to me. But it did bring the ratings up, so if that's what they were after, it worked. Did anybody actually watch it this Tuesday? Because I tried to watch it last night, but I fell asleep watching it. And she came out at the beginning of the show, and then she was going to have a handicap match at the end of the show. But I don't know if she actually did it. And I've went to watch it about 3 times today and forgot. Every time I turn the TV on, I'm like, why did I turn the TV on?
That's funny.
I'd watch ESPN for a while. And then I'd do something else. And then I'd turn on the box, play with it for a little bit. I'm like, why do I keep turning the TV on? But it's to watch the Becky match that did or did not happen. I don't know.
That's funny. So if it's like my cable was out for a short bit.
Ouch.
Yeah, it happens sometimes when it rains. So if it says, wow, you guys watch every sport.
I try to keep up with sports, but not soccer or foosball or whatever that is in Europe.
Soccer?
Football. It's soccer. They
Football?
like to call it something else.
They call it football.
Football. Is that the FUT ball?
I call it that, yeah. It's football.
Well, there is one on one of the devices I watch, and it's called FUT ball.
Yeah, football.
But I didn't know if that was Australian, maybe.
No, it's just football. It's just soccer. It's all soccer.
Oh, Dominic's back in there with Dragon Lee. Looks like Damien's going up top. He's doing the monkey thing.
Someone's like, what sport do you guys don't watch?
You know, I try to
NASCAR.
keep up. Yeah, I mean, I don't consider NASCAR even a sport, to be honest. Because to me, a sport is defined by the athlete, right?
Yeah.
And to be an athlete, what athletics is to me, what an athlete is to me, what an athletic movement is to me, is something that you can repeat. I don't care what it is. That's why golf is a sport. That's why tennis is a sport. All those other ones. Because if you can't repeat what you do, you can't be good. Racquetball's a sport. Bowling, definitely a sport. But NASCAR is a bunch of luck mixed in with testosterone, mixed in with knowledge. Right? Like, you have to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
But that's not athleticism.
Okay.
There's nothing that's athletic about driving. They don't have to repeat the same motion when they're driving.
Actually, they do, but yeah.
What do they have to do that a normal person can't repeat? Like turning the wheel left or right?
Yeah, but they're going like 200 miles an hour, doing it for 4 hours long.
Well, I understand that.
Going in and out of other people driving.
That's the luck part. Because, see, that's something that you can't predict that's going to happen. And that's where the knowledge and experience comes in. But it's not athleticism, is what I'm trying to say. The Bungles with the interception.
Oh no, Dragon Lee threw Dominic
Oh,
over.
nobody cares about this.
Zombie kicked him and then he got kneed in the face for it.
Good thing you're keeping up with that.
Oh no, he gave him whatever that move is. Old Dommy. Oh,
What
Dragon
do
Lee
they call
kicked out
that?
of
What's his
that.
name? Seth uses it all the time. It's not the sling blade, it's something else, but anyways, it's goofy. Oh, did it touch the ground? Yeah.
Ooh,
It does.
not.
It's not an interception.
Loser. Sophie says, I have started watching old NXT on Peacock. Wow, Bo Dallas was a great NXT champion.
Bo Dallas was pretty damn good.
Sophie says, my dad would watch NASCAR every weekend or tried to.
Right?
Some people are really big fans.
But I cannot watch it. I've tried. I've given time to it. I've not a reasonable amount of time. Not a reasonable amount of try either, but at least enough to where it's like, okay, give it to me, sell it to me. You know? I'll watch it for an hour.
Right?
Nothing. Actually, what Fox did was kind of weird. They would tell you to turn the volume up in your TV, and then they would stop talking, and all you'd hear is,
Yeah.
it's like, hey, no thanks.
Vroom, vroom.
Right? Especially, how are they going to do it when they have electric cars? It's going to be really quiet. The NASCAR is going to be
Wouldn't even sound like that.
So, in 1910, most people, not all, but most people rode horses and buggies still.
Right.
By 1930, everybody had a car and horses were almost obsolete. So within 20 years...
We're using them for transportation.
So for 20 years, the whole industry was gone. Blacksmiths for the shoeing and all that stuff. Basically, it was eradicated. And that's what they're trying to do to the gas power car now. So within 20 years, they want it to be a thing of the past. But if you want to drive a gas-powered car, you could go to a track and drive it. Just like you can go to a horse stable now and ride it, you know, through a wherever you want to go on a horse.
Yeah, good luck.
But
The fact that
that's their
other
goal.
countries aren't doing it, especially countries like Russia and China and stuff, you can go fuck off with your fucking electric shit. Brandon's like, white girl from Mary Brandon Stevens. Yeah. Sophie's like, I don't know why people call NASCAR
Sober,
a sport in the
Dominic
first place.
wins.
Oh my God, he retained. Sophie says golf is a sport. I don't get why people watched it, and the whole time to me it kind of like watching the news. I'd rather watch paint dry than watch golf or NASCAR.
Golf is awesome because it's probably one of the hardest sports there is to play because you have to repeat your motion exactly the same every single swing.
Well, it's not just that. You have to know wind speed. You have to know like the course and like if you have to do a slice or a whatchamacallit, around a bend or something like that.
A draw or a fade.
Yeah, so you kind of have to like know how to like change up your, swings and stuff of that nature.
But know what they do.
But know what they do?
Mm-hmm. Like when you swing.
Oh.
You have to know what your swing does.
Yeah.
Naturally. And
Right.
then you adjust to that.
Right.
But if you do something different, one time, the ball's going to go somewhere else.
True.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it's athletic as a mofo. By the way, like a quarterback, right? They have to throw the ball the same way every time because if they don't, the ball fades or drifts. Baseball is another one. Pitching is just like golf. Every single time you let the ball go, it has to be the same. You have to repeat your mechanics. Hitting, same thing. It's all about the timing and the repeating your same swing. All right, I'm turning it back over to the wrestling.
Let's see.
It was on. I just had the football game noise on.
So it says, I tried watching NASCAR, got bored after 5 minutes, and switched to channel something else.
Oh,
wow,
yeah.
Dom, clean wins, so no reason for a rematch between these two.
Yeah.
And Hassan's in the chat. Hey, Hassan says, hi there, guys. How was your weekend? It was good. How about yours, Hassan? How was your weekend?
Got to see my cousin I haven't seen in 2 years. And my
Yeah,
daughter
it was nice
showed
of
up
her to
out of the
stop
blue,
by.
too. It's funny. You guys all literally showed up at the same time.
Right.
Big Naya. Oh, Tozawa was. He didn't want any of it. He was standing right there. She walked right by him, and he turned around and walked off. Remember, they used to date.
Yeah, I was going to say, didn't they have like some weird love thing that they did together or something? Which is weird, but yeah.
How did Tozawa not get cut? He must make little money, because they probably cut more expensive guys, would be my guess.
I would think so, but. Sophie says Usher is going to be the Super Bowl halftime show performer.
Yeah, it is. 7 o'clock on the dot. I'm in my drop top, cruising street.
Sophie says I'm surprised Usher hasn't performed the halftime show before.
I know, me too. Although it's all love music, like how's that gonna work? Can you have a halftime show that's just all love song?
No idea. I don't know his music.
It's love music.
Hassan says I did enjoy Boxed in 2 on Peacock and MTV Music Awards, and it was good.
What was that? The first part?
I did enjoy. It says Boxed in 2 on Peacock.
Oh, I don't know what that is. Boxed in. Don't know what it is. What is that?
Was it a show?
What is it? What's boxed
And
in?
MTV Music Awards. It was good. Cool.
Good stuff.
What's your movie about that you talked about? Whatever it is.
I thought they answered. Wasn't that the Robin Williams movie? Or now you talking about boxed in?
Hassan's asking, said, I did enjoy Boxed in 2 on Peacock. And I'm saying, well, what is Boxed in 2? The other one was Sophie saying Man of the Year. And yeah. Rose Anthony in the chat.
Hey, Rose.
Hey, Rose. Giving us the triple L's. Sophie says, I don't know why this rumor about Stephanie and Triple H is starting to appear everywhere. It's usually how rumors are, sweetie. They start and then they get spread.
And then one person just posts it on the internet, and then 7 people post what that person posted, and then...
And then everybody knows. Like, one person tells 2 people. Those 2 people tell 2 people each. And then those 4 people tell 2 people each.
That's the old way of doing it. Now you just post on the internet, and 37,000 people look at it and go, oh.
And then they repost it.
Yeah.
And they repost it. And they repost it. They repost it.
It gets into the millions pretty quick.
It only has to start with 1. That sounds it's like a boxing movie on Peacock. Oh, okay.
Oh.
Interesting. Boxing movie on Peacock, huh? Cool. Cool beans. Didn't watch real boxing, though, huh? There was some boxing on this weekend there, Hassan.
Some good ones. That Chinese guy kicked Joe Joyce's butt.
Sophie says, does Usher have a lot of hits to carry a Super Bowl halftime show? And
Yes.
The Super Bowl is
He
happening
has
a few days before Valentine's Day.
He has a ton of number ones. The problem is they're all love songs.
Well, it's a few days before Valentine's Day, Sophie said, so it could work. The whole love thing.
He'll probably just get some other acts to work with him. Most of those people do, don't they?
Yeah.
The Continental.
So there's like, Usher also has Yeah as a hit. Okay, cool.
Hey, that's a John Wick thing. They're doing a...
Yeah, it's a 3-part event. It looks like they're just doing like a mini-series shit of the Continental. Maybe how it got started or something.
It's funny, we're watching actual cable and it's glitching. And I'm like the streaming stuff that we do sometimes. It's funny.
Why is it being stupid?
I'm like, holy crap, it's doing that. And then I'm like, wait a second, this is cable. Satellite, whatever. Same thing. The best in the world. It's intense. The Rams.
It has been intense.
Good thing she's cute, because she just messed up.
What'd she say?
She didn't know what to say.
Oh.
She just said, hey, thanks for joining. And my guests, Sammy and Kevin Owens.
Yeah, it wasn't about helping Jey Uso.
Is that a new tattoo on his hand? I don't remember that being there. Is that like a Nike symbol?
No, it's like some kind of crap. Maybe
Like a pile of
words or
poop?
something. I don't know. It's so black I can't tell. It's all not very defined. Sophie says yesterday was Stephanie's birthday as well.
Yeah, it
Jaco
was.
says good morning. And Sophie says, if Stephanie and Triple H does get a divorce, that will be shocking. You know, maybe that's why they thought they're getting a divorce. Maybe the rumor started that Triple H didn't say happy birthday to her on social media. And so then people are like, oh, they're getting a divorce because he didn't say happy birthday to her. It's usually how that
And he
shit
wants to
works.
trade up. I mean, when they get to 47 like that, that's like when you start looking at trading out.
Sweet. I can't
Because when they
wait.
get to 50, you can trade them in for 2 25-year-olds. Right?
Oh,
How that
sure.
works.
That's probably how it works.
Or when they get to 60, 2 30-year-olds. Or hypothetically, 3 20-year-olds, but that would be kind of a lot of work.
She's the irresistible force now, huh? That's creepy.
She always has been.
Oh.
The immovable object.
Immovable?
The irresistible force. Here she comes. She looks like she's in wrestling gear. She is a big old girl. Michael Cole's in the ring with her. Why are you laying waste to people?
Wasty waster tons.
Like we don't know who you are. What the?
I don't know who she is. I am so confused of who this person is. I'm just kidding. Jaco Robertson in the chat. Hey, Jaco. Good to see you tonight. It says, morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Sophie says that Stephanie Triple H was shocking. And Sophie says some artists don't need help with performances for the halftime show. Jaco says The Rock versus Roman Reigns, WWE Undisputed Championship, Universal Championship, WrestleMania 40 next year.
Boom. Make it happen. Book it.
Sophie says Rihanna performance this past year was boring. She was pregnant, so she couldn't do anything. Sophie's like, I could see Owens and Zayn winning tonight. And didn't she get a new theme music? And finally she is giving us why she has been attacking everyone. Is she giving us a why? Oh my gosh, she's going to squish him with her butthole.
Because she has a hole. Oh, she had to tell us her name again. Who is it?
Who's this?
Oh.
Zoe Stark?
Nobody of worth. A jobber. Oh, it's terrible when you are excited to see Nia beat somebody up. They know exactly how to do it. They're like, here, let's bring in trash so people have to cheer for freaking Nia.
You did it when my
What's she trying to be tough?
Turned. She talks like that all the time. It's fucking annoying. I'm so tough.
There, she did it. Get her, Nia. Oh, and referees are breaking it up. She told her to do it. She did it, and then the referees got involved. What the fuck? If the bitch wants it, let the bitch have it.
Sophie's like, so Travis is going to leave D after she turns 47?
No, that's when you start looking. I said 40. Or 50, sorry.
50. Sophie says they do call her Nia Botch. Sophie says before Usher was announced, there were rumors of NSYNC and Destiny Child to perform the Super Bowl halftime show.
Well, NSYNC's already done it. Justin Timberlake did it with, what's her name? Janet.
Yeah,
and Destiny's Child's already done it because we saw her do it not too many years ago. What's
Beyonce?
Beyonce, yeah. What's this? Terrifying. Oh, The Exorcist. Is that the girl? She said we met before. Is that the original lady?
Maybe it is. I don't know who the original lady is. Oh no, not the time.
It's a Friday, October 6th. Why didn't they just wait a week? Wouldn't that make more sense?
They're like, we don't want it to be too scary.
Hey, it's Friday the 13th. Should we go to the scariest movie ever made? The Exorcist.
You're funny. The scariest movie ever made?
The Exorcist is the scariest movie ever made. Pretty sure it's proven.
Is it? Is it proven?
They did shit different back in those days. They didn't have all this computer stuff. You had to use your imagination more.
Back in the day when they didn't have CGI shit everywhere.
People always ask me why I like the movies I watch, and it's like, because then it's like reading a book, kind of. Because Because you have to use your imagination.
Right?
It's not just there for you to watch.
Yep.
Like Avatar crap.
Or you just sit there like a zombie watching stupid shit that they're trying to imprint in your brain.
Do you like these black and white zebra outfits? I'm not a fan. Their team color's orange.
What the fuck? Is it supposed to be Bengal stripes, though?
Yeah, it's the Bengals.
That's weird. Why aren't there orange stripes with it, too?
I know.
It doesn't make any sense.
All they have that's orange is a little bit on their shoes and around their numbers.
That's dumb. So if it says, didn't they do the same thing when Braun came back? He attacked everyone for a while when he wrestled?
Yeah.
Well,
They do it with the beasts, and then it fades away and it's over. Unless they're popular, but Braun wasn't very popular. Nia might work.
Well, the hate and discontent.
She could join the bloodline. Although she's The Rock's cousin, not... well, no, she's Tamina's too. So, somehow she's related. Some reason I was thinking it was through Rocky Johnson. But maybe she's related through The Rock's mom. Because remember, she was with Tamina for a long time.
Yeah.
And Tamina's Superfly Snooker's daughter.
Oh, let's see. Oh, Piccolo's in the chat for a second. Hey, Piccolo.
Hello,
I didn't know
Governor.
you were going to make it. You said you wouldn't be here tonight. But I'm glad you're in here. He says Piccolo's like, oh, Lord, the Bucks are in the red zone. Sophie says, wonder when Orton will come back.
We just don't know if it's going to happen at all.
I mean, he could be in the Performance Center just training people, too. Piccolo says, my boy, Mike Evans, get this score. Sophie says they should go back with a Nia Tamina team. Why? Piccolo says, ain't nobody meaner than Tamina.
I don't know if Tamina's still around. She might have been one of those quiet let-goes.
Maybe.
Kind of like when they got rid of Vivica Fox or whatever her name was, that Fox. Alicia Fox.
Yeah.
Like, she never was, like, officially released. I don't remember ever watching her released.
It's funny and weird all at the same time.
Big bomb. She should have already pinned Zoe. Again with a splash. Yeah, why don't you get in the ring and stop it, Michael?
Yeah, Michael.
You think you're so cool because you pee with your penis.
Oh my God, does he though?
He could.
I don't think he does.
Come on, Nia. Keep manhandling her.
Manhandle. Manhandle.
Zoe, step to the side. Thrust kick. Another thrust kick. Now a third kick to the head. That wasn't a thrust kick. That was kind of like a soccer Pele style kick. Well, she keeps getting peppered for sure.
So
Zoe drop kicks her.
Tamina is related to The Rock and Roman, and Pico says because that was Diva's era and Twitter wasn't all over.
Zoe picked her up. Oh, but her legs gave out.
Sophie says Alicia Fox has been with the WWE for 10 years before she got her contract expired or whatever the real story goes. Bravi's in the chat again, says Ripple going in tonight. Piccolo says, you knew that Wade was shagging the Fox. Yeah, baby, yeah. Do I make you horny, baby? Baby. And Robbie says, yeah, go on, Mike. And Sophie says, at least we got till September of next year for Raw on USA Network.
Yeah. And then we don't know. But we'll probably find out in the next month or so what's happening with Raw would be my guess. Maybe sooner. There it is. It's over. 253 on that one. Zoe is garbage. Why do they keep putting her on my Raw television show? Why? Let's do an interview. Why do you think it is? Garbage. That's it. Like, they're not going to do anything? Oh, there they go. They're just showing the screen. He doesn't want to be in a group, an emo band, or no Judgment Day.
Wow.
I can see why you wouldn't want to join an emo band.
Why not?
Does
They
emo
seem
still
nice.
exist?
Yeah, they're still around, I guess.
Did you see that video I sent you about vampires? Kind of cool, huh?
The weirdness of it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess the conspiracy theory about it.
It's more like the movie plot. How cool it would be.
The movie plot
Yeah.
of the conspiracy theory of it? It was about conspiracy theories.
Well, I know, but at the end of it, he's talking about how crazy it would be. It'd just be a good movie. It's like
It's
how
news everybody hates.
they're bringing it back, you know, the cloning and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There's a Miz. The Uso Penitentiary needs to get back together.
Oh, he's going to be on Miz TV? What? That's
Oh,
funny.
Derek Carr's out for a while.
Oh, no, what happened to him?
AC joint in his shoulder. Oh, that guy threw him down hard.
Ouch.
They usually don't try to hurt you like that.
They're like...
But he went out of his way.
Because, like, I would murder you. Okay, crazy.
I said his status is week to week, but that looked painful.
And they said it's a torn?
Sprained AC
Oh,
joint.
sprained.
Right shoulder. It's right there on your screen. You can't miss it.
Yeah, you can't miss it if you're looking at it.
That's what a lot of people do when they're watching TV, is look at it.
Yeah, but there's a commercial on for wrestling, so it doesn't really matter.
You stay off that freeway.
No freeways. Well, let's see. He goes like, yo, Robbie, why? I don't know anything about all the news and wonder. So it says there is still that rumor that Raw might move nights depending on where they're going with the TV networks.
Good
People
deal.
says, cause honestly, I don't care about any of the politics anymore. Brushes off shoulder. So he says it'll be interesting who Nia feuds with leading to the final 3 pay-per-views of the year. Cola says, where's the next 4 pay-per-views located on? Sophie Nostradamus. Picola says, that Bama game was closer and only because the second half Monroe finally got some offense in. Sophie says Fastlane October 7th, Saudi Arabia sometime in November, Survivor Series in Chicago at the end of November. Piccolo's like, torn shoulder, yeah, tough for the ain'ts. Sophie says, The Miz wrote a good tweet about Dolph Ziggler release.
Yeah.
They bet they work together a lot.
So did Rick and Charlotte Flair.
Harabi says, Dean making the moolah with all the ads popping up. And Sophie says, Sheamus is out with an injured shoulder. Is that why we haven't seen him? Piccolo says, I just looked at it. Painful it is. Sophie says, man, football players are getting injured a lot more than wrestlers do.
It's a pretty physical game.
Is it? I feel like it's not anymore. It's not as physical as it used to be.
No. Not like it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to cut your finger off to continue to play or something. Like Ronnie Law. He's like, just cut it off. They're like, what? Like, just cut it off.
I don't need it. It doesn't help me with anything.
Yeah, Ronnie Law had his pinky. It was just dangling there. And they're like, well, we got to take you. And he's like, just cut it off. Okay.
Do you think, did they really do it?
Yeah, he went and played.
Oh, that's funny.
There was a linebacker named Bill Romanowski who started with the 49ers, and he got punked in his first game. Like, one of the linebackers got up in his face and like,
Oh, jeez.
or not linebacker, but somebody got up in his face and got right up in his face and was mean as shit to him. And he backed down. He walked away. Ronnie Lott came up to him and he said, if I ever see that happen again, I will kick your ass. Like, we got your back, dude. Like, and so from that moment on, he was an asshole. Like, he was probably the dirtiest player to ever play in football.
That's funny.
He'd spit on players when they were on the ground and like, I don't think that's what Ronnie meant.
Jacob says, Fastlane, The Rock, and John Cena versus Jimmy and Solo.
Yeah.
Sort of says, I expect Dolph Ziggler to be one of those guys that the WWE could re-sign at some point. Piccolo says, it's all said and done, but athletes have the science. That was a hardcore SOB. Sophie says, Dolph and The Miz are also real life best friends. They grew up in the same state. Piccolo says, Mike Singletary was like that too.
Oh, yeah. They were all like that. In that day, in the age, the 80s.
Hey, Mr. Mango, how's it going?
Mango. They were clapping.
He needed to go cool off. Sylvie says Dolph Ziggler could also be a coach at the Performance Center if he wants to. Piccolo says, who was the linebacker for Denver in the day? Wasn't he in movies?
It's Bill Romanowski is the only Denver linebacker I can think of right offhand that was
In movies?
That was tough. I don't know about movies. What day are we talking about? It was the 70s or something. I won't know.
Piccolo says, English, do you speak it? And Sophie says about John Cena and LA Knight versus Solo and Jimmy Uso at Fastlane.
LA Knight. Everybody likes LA Knight. He's so popular that he's never important on TV.
It's funny.
Hey, it's Chad Ochocinco. There he is.
Pickle says 80s, 90s guy. Denver.
Yeah. I know they did have a linebacker that was pretty damn good at that time. I know their free safety was Steve Atwater.
Sophie says it'll be shocking whenever Priest does decide to cash in, and Piccolo says that may have been him. He was a cameo in the new Longest Yard as one of the prison guards.
Yeah, that's him for sure then. Romanowski. He was in that. He was dirty. Dirty, dirty, dirty. He played for the Raiders too for a while. A lot of people didn't like him.
That's funny.
Because he was very dirty. Dirty player. I didn't mind because I could care less if some player's dirty or not.
Right?
It's none of my business.
I'm not going to be as smart as anybody who's carrying a sword. That's funny. Is he carrying a sword out there with him tonight?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
See, there's the fire, so it is when he comes out.
Huh. That's funny.
Super funny.
So it says, thank God LA Knight and Maxine Dupree didn't stay with the Maximum Male models or else they would all be fired. Piccolo says, what's happening on Raw? Right now it's Miz TV and he's talking to Drew McIntyre.
Old Drew Mac.
So it says, today marks 1 year since LA Knight ditched the Max Dupree character. Wow, 1 year already, huh? It's crazy.
It goes quick.
Ooh, a judgment-free zone for him to speak freely, huh? Do you actually have any questions? That's funny. I commend you for throwing him to the wolves. You would have done the same thing. Well, let's see. Piccolo says, I was watching Foosball, but before that, Back to the Future trilogy was on. Yeah, Back to the Future trilogy. Ooh. Drew Mac is nothing like Miz. Actually, we're a lot alike, he says. That's a very Miz move if you do that. That's funny. Hilarious. Yeah, hardest worker and become champion. He's the unwavering, unbeatable WWE champion, Drew McIntyre. Miz is trying to say how much they're alike. It's funny. I don't think they're alike at all. Win it all again, he says. But you didn't. Oh, no, the bloodline happened. Oh, all the beatdowns. Well, Miz is really, like, rubbing salt in the wounds there, isn't he? What a jerk. Well, let's see. Piccolo says, how have you been? For asking me, not too bad. How about you? I know you'd mentioned you might not be here tonight, but how you doing? Did you have a good weekend? I haven't seen Ayla either. Yeah, she was in here earlier. She skedaddled about 45 minutes in. We had Aaron as a visitor for a while. It was ridiculous. He made about 4 accounts. Like one right after the other. It was ridiculous. Ooh, how did it feel to be upstaged by Cody last week? Oh, great. The New Day people are coming out to mock him as well.
Because they rock.
I don't think they rock if they're mocking somebody. Oh, a couple guys have had issues with Drew lately. I'm not sure why they have issues with him, but okay.
Well, at the time, Riddle was around.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, cold-blooded.
Check it and see. Got a fever of 103.
Is that how it goes?
Song.
Is it?
Hot-blooded, check it and see. I got a fever of 103.
Ooh.
Oh, because Riddle's gone.
You're scared.
Big D and Miss.
Jeez. Pickle's like, we went to the paranormal con. It was alright. Aw, it was just alright.
Sounds super fun.
What do you mean it was alright? You said it was going to be super fun. Was it not as cool or fun as you hoped it would be? Like, did they not have as many, like, not vendors, but stuff going on as you'd hoped, or I don't know. Sometimes I feel like they hype those things up and they don't always turn out how you want them to be. Let's see. People also says, like, people I really had no idea who they were, but they knew some cool stories. Oh, there you go. Cool stories. That wasn't the time.
Miss, shut up. You've been told to shut up 3 or 4 times.
Ooh. Gonna call me a coward.
Oh, look, Miz's hand's up. Their mouth's supposed to go shut.
Ooh, poor Miz.
I don't think the Drew knows what it means.
Getting told to shut up. Shut up, Miz. Shut up, Miz. Poor Miz. Poor guy. Hey. Now let's go shut.
Oh, headbutt.
Oh no, he got beat up by Drew McIntyre, who's a bully now.
Yeah, Drew's a bad guy.
Drew's a bad guy and a bully. He's beating up Miz, leaving Jay in the ring to get beat up.
Kofi, get in this ring. Kofi's like, you want a piece of this?
It's like, I'll jump all over you.
I'm scared of you.
Flippy, flippy, flip.
I can flip frontwards and backwards.
K-Pops, what the fuck are those, bitch? Do a backflip off the top rope.
You might be too old to do those things now.
I don't know. I have no idea. Yeah, that's what happens. SmackDown commercial.
Oh. No. Look how close this was to getting intercepted.
No. Oh, damn. The poor guy got totally his head chopped off.
Well, that's nice of you. I didn't even know people could slip through a crack. What
I
kind of
think
crack?
it's because they're the ones kidnapping him.
That'd work. Oh, I thought she was going to say for love. Hey, that's Zach.
Why does she have Superman? Why does she have Superman down in her basement?
Wasn't Superman.
That was Superman.
Was that Dean Cain? I thought that was
That
Zach
was
Morris.
totally Superman.
I thought it was Zach Morris.
Just kidding, I don't know.
But it did look a little bit like him, too. I'm going to rewind it. That's Zach. I can tell by his voice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's Zach
Oh,
Morris.
it's him.
Zach
Vanderbeek.
Morris. No, it's not.
Oh, it's not that guy? I don't know who he is.
I
never
don't know who
watched
he
those
is either.
shows.
That's why I call him Zach Morris, because that's what he'll always be.
What the fuck is his real name?
Zach Morris.
Who is he? For
Zach
real?
Morris.
Is that his real name?
Just like AC Slater's that Mario Lopez.
I know who Mario Lopez is.
Yeah, because he did other
Is
things.
his name really Zach Morris, or is that his
No.
name in the stupid show?
It's his name in the show.
What's his real name?
Just like Kelly Kapowski. I don't know her real name either. She was in Beverly Hills 90210.
People is like, he's coming off of a bad ankle injury. Mark Paul Gosler?
Gosling?
Gosler. Not
Gosler.
Gosling.
What are we talking about now?
Mark Paul Gosler.
Cool.
Zach, what's his face?
Oh, okay. I didn't know we were really giving out real names.
Piccolo was. I'm just going with what he said. I'm guessing that's who it is.
He probably watched Zach Morris and AC Slater and Screech.
I never watched any of that. Who's coming off of a bad ankle injury? And then he's like, God, it's Tiffany Amber Thiessen.
Nobody cares about their real name, but I do know that. And the other girl, what was her name?
Tori Spelling. Oh, wait,
No, she
that's not the
wasn't
right
in that.
show.
There was Lisa Turtle, and then there was, I want to call her Stephanie, but that's not her name.
Pickle's like, I didn't even look any of it up. Not surprise people.
But
Not
she
in a
was,
bad way by any
but
means.
she was in Showgirls, the one that was Zach's really good friend that had the drug problem on the show.
Oh, Kofi, right? Oh, Kofi. You're talking about Kofi and his bad ankle injury. Yeah. So maybe he can't do his little high-flying flippies anymore. Jesse Spano.
Oh, Jesse. That's it. That's the only one I couldn't remember. That's funny. Jesse. I always liked Zach's girlfriend, the blonde one that always had the lipstick on her teeth.
People's like, now I have no clue her real name.
That one I almost know because she was in that striptease.
Like the show?
Mm-hmm. Or not striptease, sorry. Showgirls.
Massive load. It's Ludwig.
Maxine. Losers.
A higher standard. Celebrating losses. What an embarrassment. You lost. Fuck.
Jesus Christ.
So dumb.
Chad Gable's funny, though.
People's like, oh, it came to just now. Elizabeth Berkley.
Berkeley, yep.
People says, yeah, I even watch a couple of the college years seasons.
Yeah. Not as good, but good.
So that girl that you're talking about, the blonde, she's kind of tall, have like a longer face.
Yeah,
Blonde
she's in
with curly
movies.
hair.
She actually is probably the most famous of them
She
all.
was in the First Wives Club as the actress who she found who was going to play Goldie Hawn's like other part, like her daughter, and she was going to play like the mom or whatever. And she's like, oh hell no! And then she finds out that she's only like 16 or some shit.
That's funny.
I'm pretty sure that's the same girl.
I'm trying to remember the movie that I've seen her in that she's like kind of famous for. But
Piccolo says, yeah, I even watched a couple of the college years seasons. Nice. Piccolo says, didn't they have a short reboot a couple years back?
they probably
It
did.
wasn't
I
like
didn't
a
watch it.
reboot. I thought it was like
Like a reunion special.
Yeah.
With-
or was that just
with
90210?
No, with Principal Belding, they did that too. A 6 episode. But they played themselves. I didn't like that.
Oh, that's...
The Beverly Hills 90210. They
Yeah.
were their cast. They were
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, they didn't play like their actual characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was weird. I didn't understand it. Pickle's like, I have a question, not related. Cool. What's your question as we're watching this match between Drew McIntyre and Kofi?
Yeah, Drew and Kof. Both former world champions.
Former world champions. Pickle's like, so I went back to listening to comedy podcasts.
Such a good idea. It's just so good for your soul.
Yes.
Laughter. You should literally do it for like an hour every morning. Minimum.
Oh, no.
Just laugh. Just allow yourself to
Woods
just have
on
a
the
good time.
outside blubbering
Francesca.
Francesca in everybody's ear. Distraction. Bill says, and I was wondering about Saturday Night Live alumni versus comedians making it big now. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know a lot of the Saturday Night Live alumni that have been there for the past, like, say, 15 years or so.
You could go back further. Like, you could do, like,
80s
Dan
and 90s,
Aykroyd.
70s.
What's his
Chevy
face?
Chase.
Chevy Chase, John Candy, Bill Murray.
That's a hell of a class. Or
You
hell of
could-
a group.
You could go back to those kind of alumni
Mm-hmm.
if you want to. Or Will Ferrell.
Yeah, that's what I said. There's a good one.
What's his face? I want to say Dana Carvey, but I don't think he was in SNL.
Sure was.
Oh, he was. Okay.
He's Garth. Wayne and Garth.
Right. Let's see. Picola says, just because you have comedians with that on their resume, being on SNL, does that make them any funnier or more marketable in your opinion?
Yes.
It
Not funnier, of course.
depends.
But marketable, I think so, just because people are going to be familiar with their face.
Well, that, and I think it also depends on what kind of a run they had on SNL.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're talking, like...
Would people have watched Austin Powers if Mike Myers was not on
SNL.
He probably wouldn't have got the part.
Picola says, yep, ironically, that was who I was listening to. Dana Carvey and David Spade have podcasts now. Yeah, I saw that. So, yeah, I think it really depends. It also depends on who the audience of SNL is right now, too. Like, because I haven't watched it in years. And I mean, like, 15 years. So, because Pico says, because Kevin Hart never did, he just sold out shows and made it big organically. So it's different, right? So you have those
Different
guys.
types. Yeah.
You have those guys that did stand-up comedy, right? And started from the base of doing it in nightclubs and shit like that and all that. And they became famous that way. Right? And then you have the ones that maybe they were talent scouted off of those stand-up comedy things and weren't really a big name, but were brought in off of that into it. Like Jamie Foxx, I think, is one of them.
Jamie
right?
Foxx is one, but he was on In Living Color at a very young age.
Right. So then you have another one. So not just SNL, but In Living Color, a lot of those guys that were comedians.
Right.
A lot of them started out as
arguably the greatest
stand-up comedians.
Jim Carrey.
Right? Before, I'm not sure. I feel like a lot of guys on SNL didn't start out as stand-up comedians.
Oh, no.
I feel like maybe they kind of did, but they were scouted a little bit or something. I don't know. But
Eddie Murphy went into stand-up after his SNL stuff.
Right. I don't know. I think it's kind of different. Pickle says in plenty of others, The Machine, for example.
Yeah.
So, like, he didn't really do a lot of movies, though, right? He's done mostly stand-up and still continues to do stand-up more so than he does anything else. I mean, the only movie he has is that movie, The Machine, right? Where he goes back for his story that he told in his comedy routine of it. So
he was so famous in college that they actually did make a movie after him. But and they wanted him to play in
Wilder.
it. They wanted him to play in it, but they weren't sold on him. And I can see why after watching the movie.
Yeah.
The Machine. It's not terrible, but it's not good by any means.
Right. It's okay. It's like mediocre for what you would expect it to be. I expected it to be a lot better. But it was it was like a weird, I'm trying to act but do stand-up comedy at the same time. It was kind of awkward. Like, it wasn't god-awful, but it's not something I'd be like, I'm totally going to watch that 500 times just because it had some funny lines in it. It's like, yeah, I don't think I'll probably watch it again. I mean, maybe I'd watch it one more time or something, but in all reality, I'm like, nah, I'll pass. I would rather just watch his stand-up. If I'm going to watch a guy be all weird. Let's see. People's like Mad TV too. Yeah. Mad TV was a little bit different, right? For what kind of comedians you got from that. You know, I can't even say what comedians are popular that came from Mad TV.
Me neither. I couldn't name one person off Mad TV.
Can't.
I'm sure there's one, but I can't remember who it was.
Pico says social media age is considerably different, finding talent across the board. Yeah, and I mean, you can get yourself out there a lot faster, a lot quicker. Your name becomes, bigger because of other stuff, YouTube, TikTok, anything with short, Instagram, anything with short videos that you can put up there is going to become a bigger thing, right? And the fact that not only that, but you can record your stand-up comedy and then it gets put on, those social media sites. Mm-hmm. The other thing is like you don't talk about is that people who didn't come from SNL but came from Comedy Central. And when they did their stand-up comedy people, and they'd have like two or three comedians in like a half-hour period or something.
I love that stuff.
I can't remember. I think it was called stand-up or something like that. I mean, stuff like that, right?
Loved watching that stuff.
So you would see these guys that you're just like, wow, I've never heard of him before. And then as time went on, you could look them up on social media and find more of their stand-up. Some of those guys became famous, right? People like ever wonder, like guys such as Sam Kinison, Pauly Shore, Andrew Dice Clay would do in the social media era.
Can you imagine Sam Kinison?
Oh my God, or Andrew Dice Clay.
The Dice Man. He's still around. He's still alive.
I know, but in the era of it, like of social media era, like starting out as a comedian during that time, I don't know if they would.
If they would have had social media back then. I don't think they would have came over
as well. And the reason why is because of all the cancel culture shit that happens.
Well, now
that's what I'm talking about. Like social media area is now. That is now. Social media is your cancel culture.
But if we would have had it back then, it would have been fine. And it would have been super popular and it would have been great. But...
Because we wouldn't have given a shit. But yeah. Peel says, well, Key and Peele are alumni from Mad TV. Okay. So like I never watched Mad TV, so I don't know. I couldn't have named people that came from there. So Key and Peele are a great comedy duo. They had fun skits and stuff. Kind of like In Living Color and stuff of that nature. Mm-hmm. So, Pickle says, and that one bigger guy who was in the Stooges movie. I don't know who that is, Pickle. I couldn't even tell you. Pickle's like, oh yeah. The Comedy Central stuff, yeah. The stand-up comedians on Comedy Central. Guys, you wouldn't even know who they are. Like, they're complete, like, nobody's in our world.
They would have one on, like, A&E or something at, like, 11 o'clock on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
Just a stand-up, right? Like it was.
Yeah, it was late at night, though.
I think it was called Comedy Hour.
Yeah, something like that. And it was like later at night, like 10 or 12 or some shit like that. It was like, I think it was 10 here, but it was like 12 on the East Coast, like midnight or some crap. Right.
Yeah, I grew up with that shit.
Yeah, I knew you did. I mean, they do still have some of that nowadays, I think. But...
No, Drew kicked out.
Oh, no. Drew got out of it. Poor Kofi. You should
but we got to... I was actually talking to Brett about this today. We actually watched the Andrew Dice Clay specials once a year when we were kids.
Oh.
And then we'd go to school and tell all the, nursery rhyme jokes. People love that dude, by the way.
I don't know if my mom heard it from him at a comedy thing, but my mom always said the nursery rhyme with Little Miss Muffet. Mm-hmm. Little Miss Muffet's on her tuffet, eating her curds and whey. Along came a spider and said, "What you eating, bitch?"
What's that, Miss
So I don't know if she got it from him or if she knew it before then. If it was like a thing during like the 70s or something.
Old Stinky's down there with Ivar. Spin kick.
Oh no, poor Xavier's getting his ass beat on the outside of the ring.
Are they going to team up the Scottish psychopath and the Viking? I mean, he fits right in with them.
A little bit, huh? Picola says the stand-up community really are tight-knit. They seem to guest and talk on each other's podcasts. They would have to be, just because comedy is one of those things that can be very controversial for some people, right? So they would have to be tight-knit on a lot of the things that they do comedy about, right? So it would make sense.
Good stuff.
Wow, he's got some nasty looking shit on him, doesn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, there's some pretty good comics now that impress me because they're firing back against the...
Yes, finally they're doing it, which is amazing, and I'm glad that they are, because it's like, fuck off, like with the whole cancel culture shit and everybody getting their feelings fucking hurt about stupid crap.
The one guy says, as long as it's funnier than it is offensive, then I'll say it.
Which is basically everything. Rafi's like, D, she defo knew it. Who is she? What the hell are you talking about, dude? Weirdo. Just come in and randomly make some weird comments.
There's a few female comics nowadays that are pretty good, too. That, Liz girl or whatever her name is. Liz Zayla.
Yeah, I don't remember her name.
I like her. I like the one.
There's a couple of them that I don't mind that you've sent me. There's that one girl I can't fucking stand.
Yeah, she's
You, like,
hard.
left her on the fucking TV, and you were like, this is so funny. And then McKenna and I were just sitting there, and I'm just like...
Yeah. She's a hard watch.
Oh, my God. You are terrible as a fucking comedian.
I think people just like her because she's kind of prettier, but she's still not gorgeous.
I don't
she's
give a
just
flying
prettier.
fuck what her fucking face looks like. Her fucking comedy is shit. Like, and people who think that's funny, I'm like, what's wrong with you?
Okay, well, first of all, it's okay to think stuff's funny, because it is funny. It's just crude, usually.
Yeah, but it's not, like, crude in a funny way. It's just weird. It's like that.
It's crude the whole time.
It's like that stupid bitch that's in that train wreck, even though I do kind of like that movie, but I can't.
Schumer?
Yes.
Schumer?
Yeah. Like her fucking comedy. Ugh.
She's better than Nikki Glaser, though.
She is.
It's Nikki Glaser is the one.
She is, but she did some pretty raunchy, weird shit in her stuff, too, that you're just like, what the fuck? Like, that is just not that funny to me. Like, I get sex jokes and stuff. It's funny, but it comes to a point where you cannot just continue on and on and on and on about the joke. Because at some point, it's not funny anymore.
Right. Yeah, I like the one that's, she's got that little round, wholesome face.
She's all sweet looking.
Yeah. And she talks about it all the time. How cute she is or whatever, and how it works. But she can never get a one-night stand because everybody wants her to meet their parents.
Pickle's like, I enjoy a handful. Robbie says, do your conversation. You're conversational. You're controversial. Oh. Pickle's like, I like the dry one. She's a lesbian named Tig Notaro. So, like, dry humor is amazing.
If it's done right, I love it.
But Nikki Glaser just harps on the same fucking thing for, like, 15 fucking minutes of her stand-up, dude. And I can't handle it. It's like, dude, that's not funny. It was funny the first 2 minutes. Now it's just fucking lame. Move on.
Right.
Find something else to talk about. You got 2 laughs out of the audience. Oh, somebody thinks it's funny. I'm going to continue saying it.
And then there's the other girl that I think she's Latino or whatever. And she talks about the nails.
She's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, she's funny too.
I think is she the one that dresses like in jeans and like a biker jacket or something? There's one of them that kind of dresses all like badass, but she's like married and like kind of girly. Maybe it's not her.
Yeah, I mean, she is married, so it makes sense because she does talk about her husband every once in a while.
People's like, her dry humor is not for everyone. Tig Notaro. We might have to look her up. I don't know her. We might have heard her, but I don't know her name.
As long as it's offensive, I'll watch it.
Dry humor can be very offensive.
I have a hard time if I'm not offended with comedy. I feel like all comedy should be racist and offensive and just like you don't care about boundaries or rules. As long as it's funny, right? I don't want somebody up there just calling somebody names or something.
Like, what's his face? Everybody thought his comedy was hilarious. Bob Saget.
No, thank you.
Oh my God.
I don't like the F
He
word
was
if you just use
freaking
it as a
terrible.
word.
Oh my gosh. It was like, I have a joke for you. Knock, fuck, knock.
It's like, why are you swearing? Didn't you have little girls or something?
Like, it was just like every other word was fuck.
Yeah, and it was forced.
It was, or a swear word of some kind.
Yeah,
like, he was like, oh, I was always like this. Like, he had to make up for being on a wholesome family TV show.
It was
shit.
the worst stand-up comedy routine I've ever seen, and I've seen some pretty bad ones.
It made my ears bleed. It was so bad.
And I sat there and watched that whole thing because I was waiting for the funny joke at the end or something.
Kind of like a couple movies we watched this weekend. We're just like, when's this supposed to get good?
Oh my God, that licorice pizza.
When is it supposed to get funny? When's it happening? Oh my God, why did we watch
you said this? It had, I didn't see it, but you said it said somewhere on it that it's a comedy.
Yeah, it's a comedy drama.
And
it's supposed to be a comedy. That's the first word, comedy. And I'm just like, oh, so it should be kind of funny.
I was waiting,
and
honestly.
I'm just like, pins and needles, like, is the comedy going to happen? Is it happening?
I waited for an hour.
And it wasn't like it was like dry and it went over my head or something. It was just like, what the fuck?
I did get confused during one part of it.
Well, of course you did.
And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what's this about?
It all happened within like 4 months. Literally, the whole shit just happened within like 4 months of a year. It was like, what the hell?
Like, somehow he's banging a 25-year-old. I'm like...
He wasn't even having sex with her yet.
Yet. He did at the end, I would assume, but...
Rob is like, D, the she is you. Oh. Piccolo says, yeah, I don't like her. You don't like Nikki Glaser. Piccolo's like, she may be okay on the roastings, but not as a whole, as a special. I mean, maybe she does good at, like, roasting people and stuff like that. That might be a possibility. But her whole stand-up routine, I've seen a couple of them. Travis made me watch a couple. Like, one of them, I was like, oh, that's funny. Because it was like a little excerpt out of her stuff.
Uh-huh.
But the whole show was fucking trash.
You know, the worst thing I ever did is because I watched her on the Joe Rogan podcast, and she's funny as a human.
She's just being all...
And so I was like, okay, she's a star. So I'm going to watch Taylor is the girl's name. I'm going to watch Taylor stand up first.
Oh, God, you fucked up.
And then it was so good. And then I was like, okay, this is going to be great. Nikki Glazer's going to come out, like, knock this shit out of the park. Oh, no. No more eye matches.
Okay, weird.
Anyways, and she bombed. Do not watch Taylor before Nikki if you're going to watch those girls back to back. Because that Taylor is funny. That's the wholesome, pretty. Mm-hmm. It's not pretty. She's not ugly.
She's cute.
Mm-hmm.
Piccolo says that. And Robbie says, look up Phil Wang. I went to see him the other day. He's funny. So Tig Notaro and Phil Wang. Piccolo says, yeah, I'm about the self-depreciating ones. Have you ever seen John Mulaney stand up? I think he's funny.
Probably. That sounds familiar.
Robbie says, D, big up on the choice of film. It was supposed to be good. Like, it's like one of those things where you're told, like, oh, this is a pretty good movie, and then you fucking watch it, and you're like, why are people telling me this is good?
I felt like the movie would have been better if there was more people in it. And they would flash to those two, but then have other stories going on at the same time.
Right.
So that story was still told, but in sections. But, like, something else in the world was happening.
Yeah, I don't really feel like their acting careers will go very far.
Those actors that were in that
Yeah.
show?
Since I haven't seen them or heard about them in any other movie since 2021.
That show was terrible.
Let's see. Pico says that movie even had me lost 2/3. I quit watching. Oh no, we watched the whole thing. What was the next one we watched that was almost as bad?
It was probably just one that I liked. The Cell Hard, or it was a Jeremy Piven.
Oh, that one wasn't bad.
That was the next movie, wasn't it?
Not that. I meant like another movie we had watched. Maybe not this weekend, but recently that was just as like, oh my God, why are we watching this?
None of them compare to that Viking movie.
No. Mackenzie Malord in the chat. Hey,
Mackenzie.
Mackenzie, good to see you today. How are you doing?
What's your favorite movie?
Judgment Day is getting annoying. They are in every segment.
They really are. It's
Pretty
kind of
much.
like the Bloodline stuff on SmackDown. I think they're trying to pull the same thing. That's why all the belts are on all those guys.
But they're like, well, it's not really working out so well. Why isn't it working out so well?
They need to get him cashing in on the Money in the Bank.
And Pickle says, hello, Mackenzie. And Pickle says, it's a Paul Thomas Anderson movie. I'm not sure if you've ever seen many of his films. No, I don't know who he is. Probably. If you mention some movies in a list, I might be able to say, yeah, I've seen it. But I could not tell you off the top of my head who fucking makes movies. There very rarely can I tell you who makes a movie.
I know like 3 directors, and that's pushing it. And I might not be able to even name them.
I could tell.
Steven Spielberg.
Right. And you could actually, but you could name movies that he's done, though. That's the point I have. Like, you could name people, but I'd be like, I don't know, did he do this movie?
Right. So Steven Spielberg, I can name a few. Not a lot of his, but I can name a few because they're super famous. George Lucas, I put with Steven Spielberg. They're like the same person. Mm-hmm. Then Quentin Tarantino. Mm-hmm. And then I was hoping I'd remember this. James Cameron.
Yeah.
That's it.
Can name him. Robert Rodriguez. He works with Quentin Tarantino quite a bit. Martin Scorsese. I can say him.
Yeah, but I don't
know. Guillermo del Toro. I can tell him.
I don't know.
Could I tell you all the movies that they've done? No.
Right. I don't know those people other than I've heard the names when you say it.
Pico says, Boogie Nights, There Will Be Blood, The Master. I've heard of Boogie Nights. Out of those 3 movies.
By the way, that movie's terrible.
Boogie Nights?
Oh.
Yeah, not very good. Not for me. I would say it's not very good. Magnolia. Is that the weird one with Tom Cruise?
Still Magnolias?
No Magnolias. Just Magnolia.
Never heard of it.
I'm pretty sure that's the one with Tom Cruise in it. Mackenzie says, Judgment Day, they are a great stable, but they're getting overexposed too much. Yeah, they need to, go hide in a closet for a minute.
Yeah, I mean, and Rhea's hurt right now, which she's off with her husband, her boyfriend, or whatever.
Ravi's like, LOLD, sometimes unknown films are great. True, Ravi.
Love them.
Very true. Because I have seen many very poorly rated movies from the I rate movies people that are fantastic. And the ones that they're like, this is the best movie fucking ever invented. I'm always like, this is shit. This is fucking annoying and shit. I don't know why people think this is great. I mean, what are we looking at here? Is it the acting? Is it the CGI crap? The storyline? I don't know.
Yeah, don't give me the CGI stuff. I'm okay without it.
Robbie says the main event gonna go in.
And it's happening now. I didn't realize how much time it went by. I was like, shit, they're leaving like 50 minutes for this.
Tag team title people.
It's only 23 minutes.
They might get it.
You think they're going to get their titles back?
I don't know.
I don't.
Picola says it's very manic and depressing.
Nice.
Picola's like, oh, Magnolia, that's a tough watch. Yeah, that's the one. It's the Tom Cruise 1K. Which is hilarious that I know it's a Tom Cruise movie because I kind of think I remember like previews from TV about it. But I could not for the life of you tell you what it's fucking about.
Right.
Have no idea. I just was like, I'm pretty sure that's a Tom Cruise movie. That's the only reason. And that's the reason why I would never watch it. I do not subject myself to watching Tom Cruise movies on purpose. It depends on the movie.
You don't like.
Very rarely do I ever go.
You don't like masterpieces?
You know what? I really want to watch this movie. What's that?
You don't like masterpieces? Yeah, I mean.
The only Tom Cruise movie that I'm like, I really like this movie. It's fucking Interview with a Vampire. That's the only fucking movie that I'm like, I kind of like this movie.
But I don't even consider that a Tom Cruise movie. I mean, he's in it, but only for like the first part.
He's in it for most of the movie until the very end when they try to kill him. He is literally in it the whole movie.
That's like the end of or that's like the first 20 minutes of the movie when they kill him. They throw him in the swamp, and then they go to Europe for fucking 12 hours of the movie, and then they come back and he's alive in the house, but it like doesn't make any sense.
That's fucking hilarious. That's so funny because that's actually like the last 20 minutes of the movie, but okay. That's hilarious.
When they're in Europe? that's when she gets murdered. And
they are together with her for a long time. Like, it's only, like, the last, like, maybe 40 minutes of the movie, possibly, that he's not involved. Lestat is not involved in Louis and what's-her-face roaming around.
I was just thinking, like, I guess it's better, so it's quick, and then the last part of the movie is dumb and it goes slow.
Maybe. It might be. Piccola says, I'm on their Rotten Tomatoes page sifting through reviews, and they can be completely wrong. Dude,
I can't.
I hate Rotten Tomatoes. They are the worst at rating fucking movies. Like, the worst. I don't know who's behind their fucking rating system or their reviews, but they suck asshole.
I have a hard time with it because all my favorite movies get like 8s to 30, somewhere in that range. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, wait, what? And then some of them obviously are higher rated than that.
Well,
but
some of them are very epic movies, and they're definitely worth watching.
I think sometimes all it is that, like, oh, Brad Pitt was in it, so it's better. It's
got to be so much better.
And so they give it a better rating. And I like Brad Pitt and Troy. It's one of my favorites. But it doesn't make the movie better that Brad Pitt's in it.
No. But the question is, could anybody play his part? That's what I always look at. Could anybody play that part? Or is it specifically made just for him?
Not anybody, but somebody else could have played that part.
Piccolo says, so I pay attention to movies that are televised. Yeah. Daniel Vargas in the chat. Hey, Daniel. Nice to see you. Or Dan Lee. Sorry, Dan Lee Vargas. Nice to see you, Dan. Piccolo says, I noticed certain directors or indie films will never be thrown on TNT, TBS, USA, or AMC, but they sure as hell will throw on Twilight or Harry Potter all willy-nilly. And it's true, though,
all
right?
The time.
Like, the movies that you literally are like, why don't they put this on TV? Never see them on TV. And it's not because, oh, they can't, like, bleep out things or not show certain stuff, but
sometimes
rare.
It's what network records it, though, too, because then they
true.
can't get the rights to it, or it's too expensive.
That's true. Nowadays, that's a big thing. I don't think it was as much back in the day.
Right.
I think it was just paying, like, hey, we want to play your movie. Okay.
Like, Beastmaster was always on TBS and TNT in the 80s.
Right.
People thought that they actually owned it because it was always on.
Right.
But they don't.
Right. Anyways, we're back from that commercial break, guys.
Yeah, we got Sami Zayn in there with Finn Balor.
Yeah, this is that tag team championship match tonight for the tag titles.
This will keep you awake.
Who's going to win? The Judgment Day guys or Kevin and Sami?
I think that Judgment Day will retain. Will they win? Not so sure. Could be a disqualification.
It's a possibility.
Oh. Nothing wrong with that. It's a tag team match. You can have double teaming.
Double teaming. Piccolo says, I'm cool with Expendables coming on, but they had Fast 7 the whole entire weekend, and I was angry.
Expendables. That shit. Didn't 4 just come out on Friday?
Something like that. Yeah, I get really tired of watching those stupid Fast and Furious movies. If they come on, I don't watch them. If I'm watching cable in that
I've only seen the first 2. But I've seen the first one 75 times, maybe more. And when I say that, I don't kid around. It's probably way more. I just try to underplay it.
I'm really excited when IFC has different movies on there, because they'll sometimes put different movies on their channel.
Right. We're playing the fire wiffle ball.
Fire wiffle ball?
Yeah, she lit the wiffle ball on fire and was hitting it back and forth.
Damn, that's terrifying. It's one way to play it, I guess.
That's how I do it.
Maybe they should start doing that in every sport.
Start the
balls on fire and see what happens.
Hot potato football.
Pickles completely forgot IFC was an option. LOL. The reason why I like IFC is because it may have commercials, but they show the whole movie. They don't cut things out. They show everything. So that's why I watch it.
Nope.
I'm more excited to watch that station than some of the others.
I like that Damien does those old school wrestling moves.
Some of them,
I've said that since he started.
Yeah.
Of course, but...
Then he does some of the old school stuff. It's because he's all old.
Well, and he trained with the older guys. That blimp view is always so cool. It'd be kind of fun to go up in that.
In the blimp?
Mm-hmm. Goodyear blimp.
Yeah, it's critical, Michael. You tell us how critical it is. So critical in the matchup
So
here.
critical.
So critical.
Almost condition.
So critical. Pickle's like, he has diesel moves for sure.
Look at that clothesline.
Pickle's like, blimp is still a thing? Yeah, they still have him on some of the games.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if it's a Goodyear blimp.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a tire company anymore, but it's the blimp.
They probably have to make it more environmentally sane, like Impossible Burgers or some shit. Like, this is so much better for the environment, even though it's not.
It's up there with helium.
So good for the environment, as it's not. Oh, what's Sammy gonna do? Is he gonna go jumping out? Oh no, here he goes. Throw himself out there at people. Oh, he got him. Robbie's like, it the Michelin Man. Yeah? Just the Michelin Man just up there floating around because he's a blimp. That's not very nice, Robbie. It's kind of rude.
Fat. Looks like a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Not the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Exactly what it is.
Feels like 2 Canadians, a Puerto Rican, and an Irishman walk into a ring. They have a weird fight about some belts.
Right.
The 2 Canadians are saying they're sorry the whole time.
Sorry.
It's alright, sorry. Ask them what it's all about.
What's it all about? Yeah.
And then they all like yak at him in French.
Their floppy heads. Their beady eyes.
I don't know what to say about the Puerto Rican. The Irishman's just in there drunk, so, there's that.
I can talk shit all day about them.
Not sure what to say about the Puerto Rican guy, though.
Hard worker.
Is that really talking shit?
That's it. Next champion. The Bungles, past the 50-yard line. Ocho Trace.
Piccolo says, have you changed your mind about AEW Trash Card?
I'm not going to do the show, no. But I'll watch it. I'm going to watch it. We're just not going to do it live.
Yeah, we're planning on passing on Sunday, Piccolo. We're not gonna do a live show on it. We said that the minute they announced it.
It was like, if they're going to do the Japanese guys in there, then no.
Yeah.
Because I don't like to try to learn the names and stuff. I mean, I'd like to watch it, and I will. I'll sit back and watch it. But I don't want to sit there and try to have to learn all those names for something I'm not going to know their names. And the next time I see them, I'm going to forget it again.
Yeah.
And by the end of
they'll have like a group of them and stuff, and then it's harder to even keep track of them. And then Travis gets frustrated, and then he can't call the plays because he can't say their names.
And then there's 12 guys in a tag team match for some reason. I don't know. I don't know if that's what they're planning on doing. It's
hard enough when AEW does weird shit like that with just their own wrestlers.
Do it,
especially ones you haven't seen for a minute or two and you forget who they are and you're like...
By the way, it's not a Japanese person. It's that they were in New Japan wrestling.
Yeah,
it doesn't trust matter. Me, it's the same way with the weird caveman guy that's with Jay White. Can never remember his name either. Captain Caveman.
That's an insult
Juice
to Captain...
Robinson.
That's an insult to Captain Caveman.
Juice Robinson was his name.
Let's see. Picola says... Piccolo says, I'm sort of confused. Last week, did Kingston win both titles? So
yes. He's the
had
new champion.
a title, And then he won Cesaro's title off of him.
Yeah, he's the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion.
So he has 2 titles.
I don't know what the other one is, like a New Japan title or something.
Yeah, I don't know what it is either. Like an American or
I have no
intercontinental one or something like that. I don't know. People says, have you noticed the tag team that got this quick push?
What? What tag team? In AEW?
The question mark starts with an R. They wear all white. Oh,
yeah, we just watched them.
Or religion.
Yeah,
or...
we just watched those on Saturday, I think it was.
Travis was like,
what the
fuck? And then he was like, and stupid. He wasn't very impressed with them. He's like, this guy's just a dumbass looking Enzo Amore.
That's exactly what I said too. He has no chest muscles, and he had no butt. Not that I look at guys' butts. I'm just. It
His
shows if you.
Doesn't fit.
It shows that you work out if you have a butt.
I mean,
you have to do squats.
If you don't have a butt, like Edge, he at least works out the rest of his body.
Right.
Maybe he can't make a butt.
Right. Well, his
but
whole body.
The rest of him looks okay as an old man.
2 eggs and a hanky.
Piccolo says, and the guy took the pin off Jeff Hardy. He has dreads.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Travis did watch that and made me unfortunately watch some
that
of
was
it
that
too.
2-hour. That was that 2-hour show.
Yeah, we watched some of it on Friday night.
Because I still haven't seen the Saturday show yet.
It was awful. I hated it.
You didn't watch Saturday show.
No, I watched the Friday
2-hour
stuff
Friday.
a little bit, and it was dumb.
Well, because I wanted to watch the girls.
Yeah.
The Sky Blue and what's her name? Heart.
It's torture. Anyways, Piccolo says, so they are sort of a ripoff of a cultish group. Oh, like an actual like cultish group, or like another group in wrestling that's like a cultish group.
Finn Balor kicked out.
Not Finn Balor.
9 more minutes, guys.
Kicking out. How dare he?
Kevin got way up there looking like Ford.
Damn.
Maybe a Dodge. Or a Pinto.
It's so
this
awesome,
is awesome.
They say. Which group is doing it? Oh, I guess there's some people clapping. Who is it? Who's going to win it?
This is awesome. If you're into awesome things.
Yeah, he has.
Get him, Finn. When is McDough going to show up and screw it up for everybody?
McDough! People's like, well, in ROH, they spoke in tongues and fought against the Briscoes and that big tag team with Brian Cage. They were kind of forgettable.
Huh.
They were an ROH group, huh? Yeah, I wasn't extremely impressed with them either when I watched them.
Finn Balor kicks out again.
As you say, forgettable in a lot of sense.
Almost had the gold one.
Are you talking that team of those 2 guys are a ripoff of some cultish group?
Yes.
Or those guys are a ripoff of the cultish group in ROH that you're talking about?
So this Sunday, you see this here happening on the right?
Uh-huh, yeah.
That's what the game's going to be.
No, it's not.
Uh-huh. This Sunday. See? Sunday.
It's also available on ESPN+.
Yeah. So when you're watching the game, it'll just be the players. They're going to, like, it's instantaneous CGI'd.
That's weird.
So it'll still be the same plays and the same, everything's happening at the same time, but it's CGI'd as a different player. It's for the kids to watch.
Nobody cares about the kids watching football.
You can watch the normal game too, by the way.
Yeah, on ESPN+ only. So basically, there's no Sunday Night Football.
No. The ESPN Plus. Sunday Night Football is on NBC. But you can watch it in the little kid mode on a different channel, which is
Yeah,
ESPN
but it
Plus.
just said at the bottom of that the regular game is available on ESPN Plus.
Well, it shouldn't be.
Hugo says off of just normal Colts, but without a Bray Wyatt leader. Oh, okay. Okay. I get it now, what you're saying. Okay.
Hey, look, Sammy's back in there. He's going to try to get the win.
I don't know. It kind of reminded me of that show that I was
Uh-oh.
trying to watch, but it was weird with that guy.
Now, these bungles are really good. And as the season goes on, I think they'll get better and better. Remember, that Burrows doesn't lose to the Kansas City quarterback. Peyton or Patrick Mahomes or whatever.
Damn, Sammy, you can do it. Oh, no, Finn.
Finn with the save.
Do you remember that show that I tried to watch?
Yeah.
It was that weird evangelical, whatever, religious show. And it has the guy that's like the
Yeah.
Danny McBride.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I know the show, what you're talking about.
That's what those guys reminded me of.
The one kid tried to kill himself and he had a weird face.
Yeah.
The shotgun.
Yeah, I don't care about that. But
That's the movie you're talking about.
it's not a movie, it's a show. But that's what those guys on that show, that tag team reminded me of, was that show.
That's funny. Hey, Dominic's there. Don't call him main event Jey Uso. It's just Jey Uso. He's not main event if he's not in the bloodline.
He was like the leftovers? No, not that. It says, oh, that show. I can't remember the name. I can't either. Like, a colleague had suggested it. And I tried to watch it, but I have the hardest time watching Danny McBride. Like, he is like the type of character I can only take in small doses in movies.
Oh, God.
Cody. And shows, not the main character. Oh, he got McDowell. Oh, poor Cole got
Cole's
kicked.
Down.
Thanks a lot, McDowell, you asshole. Kicking Cole. Somebody should fire him. How dare he kick poor Michael Cole?
Look at that. They're double teaming Dominic.
Poor Michael Cole was just there innocently calling the match. And he got attacked by that Doe guy. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Came right after him. It was terrifying.
There's a stunner on Finn.
The stunner on Finn. Damien just throws him out, and now he's out for the count.
There's a hula kick. That's it.
Hula kick. The ref's like,
McDowell hit him with a belt.
McDowell got him with the belt hitting.
His foot's under the rope.
No, it's not. He's a couple inches away from it.
I don't know. Might need to get a better view. Pretty sure his foot's under the rope.
McDowell.
He's talking to him, Sammy. He turned over and just started talking to Damien.
That's funny. I feel like McDowell should have been out a lot longer for when he got hit.
It's an absolute train wreck.
So wrecking of trains.
3 minutes left still, though. What are they going to do for 3 minutes?
It's 2.
What are they going to do for 2 minutes? Look, I put a battery in that.
Oh, gosh.
Isn't it creepy?
That's so creepy that it works now after it hasn't worked for 5 years.
I know. It had a Harbor Freight battery in it. The old yellow ones. I'm like, what the? How did I not have battery? Like, I was a lazy fucker. Just go get a battery out of the drawer.
That's
No wonder it didn't work.
Pickle's like, any shenanigans retains. The shenanigans
There
were
was
McDowell
shenanigans.
coming down and Damien, or not Damien, but Dom coming down. And then
Cody
Rhodes and Jey Uso came down to kind of help. And McDowell did the shenanigans by whacking Sammy in the face with one of the tag team belts. That's where the shenanigans
The
happened.
SmackDown bell. Because it was blue.
Because McDowell really wants into the group so he can tear it apart.
Just don't let Sammy in because he tears groups apart.
Let him in. He'll tear them apart really fast. I think McDowell's going to be the same. the same. Tearing them apart. And people's like, okay, real quick.
Yep.
That mixed tag on Rampage, what were your thoughts, Travis? Oh, God. The Anna Jay one.
I'm trying to remember who they wrestled. That was what's her
Orange
name?
Cassidy, Statlander, Hook versus the former JAS.
I couldn't remember the other woman is all. It was fine. Obviously, I wanted Anna Jay to win, but they're not going to put her over. But they didn't have her take the pin. I like that.
Yeah.
But I'm not a huge fan of the mixed tag stuff, but I definitely like Anna Jay. And Statlander's one of their better homegrown talent.
We've
Melee.
got a melee of crazy happening.
Melee.
Piccolo says, like all the Hager interference was shite.
Of course.
Yeah, but they got to have that stuff, right?
That's how it works. Drama. The Bengals have basically been dominating this game, and they could still lose it.
They ended that on a cliff note of crazy, everybody. And Piccolo says, I didn't care for the finish. It was dumb.
Yeah.
Well, it was kind of stupid, but there's a lot of
100%
AEW stuff that's
dumb.
kind of dumb. Anyways, thanks everybody for hanging out with us and joining us for tonight's Monday Night Raw. The Judgment Day guys retained those tag titles, so they're still your tag team people. Some other stuff happened that will cause some other interesting feuds or possibly matches for Fastlane.
Yep.
That's the next pay-per-view coming up, so we'll see how some of that plays out. Anyways, we'll be back again on Wednesday for AEW Dynamite, guys. Have a great rest of your evening.
Thanks for watching Wrestling Gab. Bye-bye.
Bye.